What's up, everybody? How are we doing today? Wednesday. I am so tired today. Oh man, it is middle of the week, and this week has been a difficult one. Too much interpersonal drama this week. I'm not a drama guy. I can tell you is that right now. I'm not a drama guy. Not a drama guy. Regardless of what Reverend tells you about me being on this channel, not a drama guy. I did see a speech. It's actually the video is actually done really well recently from Alan Watts, a guy I'd never really known about or seen anything on. Recently learning some things about Alan Watts. And I watched a little bit of a video from Alan Watts. Obviously, Alan Watts has been passed away for quite a while now. But that somebody had re-uploaded or something like that on Alan Watts' channel. And I was like, that is me to a T. Just talking about the recognizing as you grow older that society is built off this like flimsy foundation of complaining together and kind of just, you know, helping to support narratives. And it kind of really does say why I dislike the MAGA movement so much, right? It's like there's no allowing of disagreement. It's also the reason that I really just don't like politics that much as well. It's like anybody that's involved in politics knows how gross it actually is. And if you're involved in politics and you don't recognize how, like, absolutely kind of, like, gross the way the political system is and the way it works, if you don't realize that, like, I've got to question your morality. Yeah, because as I've said a lot of times, it's like, it's very exhausting to kind of, you know, attempt to make solid arguments to support or defend a point of view, a policy, a political position in this current political sphere, right? It's just, and I'm sure it has been that way for a long time, but it's gotten so much worse now. And that Alan Watt video just really kind of spoke to how I feel about that. And if you guys don't know who Dirt Miller is a fine musician, a great dude, a guy who makes awesome music. He was the one who shared the video, and I actually went and clicked it. And I was like, wow, I wasn't even going to click this. I didn't know what it was. And I clicked it, and I was happy I did. So, really cool stuff. Let's see who's in chat, and let's watch some videos today. Woke Mike, number 1, number 2, Nana came in. Good job, Nana. Broke up that 3. Can't let him have 3. He gets full of himself if he gets 3. What's up, Nana? What's up, Woke Mike? What's up, Tammy? Tammy, you were trying. You gotta be faster than that. Gotta be faster than that, Tammy. Dean Baker, what's going on, Dean? Nightbot, good job. Doing the good thing down there. Working hard, Nightbot. Silent Siren, what's happening, Silent Siren? Let's see, who else? Liz Allen. Hi, Liz. How's it going today? Hope you guys are having a good Wednesday out there. Christina. What's happening, Christina? Hope you're having a good day as well. Bucket Kid. What's going on, Bucket Kid? We shared your video last week, Bucket. I don't know if you were here for that, but we did share your video last week. Progressively. What's happening progressively? So let's take a look at what we got to talk about today, because we got some stuff. So we've got a couple different things to talk about today. We've got the Donald Trump getting trolled by Gavin Newsom memes, which are absolutely amazing for all the right reasons. You know, I've said this before. I was having this conversation with this person on Discord for a completely random reason, but this person's says they're very educated, is probably very educated, speaks like they're very educated, is part of a group of a bunch of people that are very educated. And, you know, that person has, you know, is not from America. And she, you know, speaks a bit about, you know, the need for credentialed journalists and such in America, and I'm all for that. But I also think that the idea of mocking mass psychosis is one that needs to continue. And I think that that's not going to come from credentialed journalists. I don't think that's going to come from credentialed people that are academics or intellectuals. I think that, I mean, I guess you could have a higher level mocking, but MAGA's not going to get it. So I think that what Newsom is doing is good, because that's exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about mocking mass psychosis. Is what Gavin Newsom is currently doing is the point of what I've talked about, and that is that you should make what they believe is so cool, so strong, so badass look absolutely dumb and buffoonish. And to be honest, he's doing a great job. Well, the lady that the set of ladies that he hired to do his social media are doing a great job. So we got that to get into. We got a $30 million pardon scheme that fell apart that I'd like to talk about, because this is the most corrupt presidency that we've ever seen, ever before. We've got, obviously, Trump sending U.S. warships to Venezuela and Maduro, mobilizing 4.5 million militias. We've got this one, which I really wanted to talk about, because you guys know I talk about this all the time, and it's a digital revolution hits grocery aisles. Prices now change faster than you can shop. Was it like last week I was talking about this? I think it was last week or the week before I was talking about this, but I've been talking about this for a very long time. And you guys know how excited I get when I talk about groceries. Long time. You guys know how I talk about okay? I've been working in the industry for 20 years. Old-timey groceries. We're going to talk about that. We've got Bill Burr making fun of Ben Shapiro, and I think a podcast that we watched, but we didn't. I don't think we watched this part, so I wanted to go back and talk about this. We've got the Good Liars going to Washington D.C. I thought that would be really both funny and sad, so I thought we'd watch that one. We've got, like I said, a couple videos on the Gavin Newsom things. We haven't watched Brian Tyler Cohen in forever. The only guy of a size of Brian Tyler Cohen, and I mean his subscription base, okay? I'm not talking about other things, that has ever came in and said, thank you for featuring my video. Brian Tyler Cohen once said, thank you for featuring my video on my channel when I had like fucking 6,000 subscribers. It's the highlight of my YouTube career, guys. So anyways, I want to watch him talking about Gavin Newsom. We've got some Epstein Files talk, which I want to give my pessimistic opinion on this. And then also, if we get to it, a little MAGA meltdown from a person on the Dark Brandon show as well. So we got plenty to get to today. Tammy, thank you for rejoining the Ginger Snaps. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And thank you to everybody that has ever joined the Ginger Snaps. Somebody joined my Angry Ginger Live Clips channel. I was like, oh, okay. Look at that. I'm not even on live stream over there. When will we see a food shortage? You won't see a food shortage. Food's going to end up getting spoiled and thrown away. It's not going to be shortage. Even with the lack of labor. I mean, you might see stuff spoiling in the fields and stuff like that. That's probably going to happen. But America generally exports a lot of food. So it's not a problem. In fact, we have so much food generally that we produce that we have to. And that's why USAID was actually so important to farmers. It's not going to be a food shortage. I just saw something in the news that said when I was looking at PPI statistics, so that's the Producer Price Index. The Producer Price Index is a forward-looking indicator, whereas like Consumer Price Index is a backwards-looking indicator. So CPI is like what a consumer pays for products at the store, along with a lot of other things. Not to be confused with the Core Price Index, which is the same thing but different, without food and energy. The Producer Price Index is more of a forward-looking and tends to give you an idea of what you're going to pay in the future, because it's what producers are paying wholesale for products. And, you know, we can get into tariffs and all of that stuff, but the tariff situation is really weird. Only something like 48% of any of the products that are coming through are actually getting tariff, because Trump's just a strongman facade and doesn't actually, he just tells his supporters that he's tariffing all these goods, and then he goes behind the scenes and capitulates and, you know, does what Trump does, and, you know, gives a bunch of, benefits to people he likes, like, you know, a cook over there at Apple or Bezos at Amazon, whatever it is. But, yeah, I don't see it as being a food shortage problem. I see it as food prices spiking, as I was just about to say. Certain produce is going to most likely spike by up to 39%, and that's a huge fucking number. That's a huge number. So, yeah, that's just my opinion on that. But we'll talk about a little bit more of that pretty soon. But it's going to cost too much to eat. Yes. Yes. Yes, and what Bucket said. What's happening, Oz? People probably just won't get the food they want, will begin confusing, and equates to the end of the world. That was COVID, when people were like, there's no food on the shelves. And I was like, well, no, the food that you want isn't on the shelves, but there's cans of beans and there's bags of rice. It's going to be that food prices most likely are going to elevate, specifically produce, and things that are packaged outside of the country for cheaper as well. So that's why Del Monte is under, right? Del Monte is going bankrupt. Del Monte will no longer be around for a multitude of reasons, not just tariffs. But that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, right? So, you know, as I've said before, when you look at PPI, when you look at CPI, when you look at jobs numbers, and by the way, PPI, for the Producer Price Index, they're cutting 350 indexes because of Donald Trump cutting the budgeting to the department. So the budgeting in the department being lower and less than it has in the last 2 decades, which in the last 2 decades, we haven't exactly been funding really well the CPI and PPI because that's all Bureau of Labor Statistics. We haven't been funding that very well in the first place, and now Donald Trump has cut it obviously even more, and now they have 350 less indexes to add to PPI. So pretty soon numbers aren't even going to be verifiable in any real way. Like, you're going to, in my opinion, this is just strictly my opinion, but my opinion is most likely we're going to enter a sort of stagflation that, you know, was seen, I think, in the 80s was the last time that we saw this kind of thing. Or maybe even, no, 2008 was just a straight up recession. So I think we're going to enter a phase of stagflation that's going to make people feel really bad, but they're not going to be able to put their thumb on what the problem is, because you're going to be being fed these fake statistics, these made up numbers. You're going to be, the wool's going to be pulled over your eyes, but it's not going to be so bad that you're going to be going broke. The stock market's going to look good. Trump's going to be telling you everything's great. They're probably going to even send out stimulus to people, and people are going to get stimulus, and they're going to pose it as, you're getting it because we brought back so much money. And the reality is that you don't give stimulus unless stimulus is necessary. And I believe that they're going to be giving stimulus checks to people to keep people happy, and that stimulus, of course, is not going to be enough to help support people. It's just going to make morons go, I got a check from the government. That means the government likes me. So, that's my personal opinion, is that we're going to enter a phase probably in the next 6 months to 8 months of stagflation, but it's going to be like really under the radar. I think economists, for the most part, are going to be very confused by how numbers could be this way, but the sentiment is this way. We already saw part of that in Biden's the end of Biden's term, where you already had people in the blue collar middle class that were like, yeah, you keep saying the economy is good, but like it doesn't feel good. That was already starting, and Donald Trump has made it much, much worse. So that's why I feel about that. And then I think eventually the stagflation is going to lead to job losses. I think people are doing what's called job hugging right now, which is like they're hanging on to jobs that they really don't want to be in. And I think that that's going to lead to worse and worse consumer sentiment. And eventually, I think that that's going to lead into a recession, if not a depression. So that's kind of where I'm at. You got to get your canned cranberries before Thanksgiving. Yeah. The fruit crock cocktail. Progressively. That's bringing back memories right there. That's bringing back the memories right there, my friend. The fruit cocktail out of Del Monte cans. Yeah, good job, Nana, on the eggs. I've been stocking up on beer. Good news for you, Woke Mike. Less people are actually drinking beer, so beer prices probably will stay pretty relative. They don't have far that they can go on those beer prices. I think it's something like only 52% of Americans, last time they were polled, said that they drank alcohol, which is a huge dip. And it goes even further down when you get to young people. Young people, it's like almost like, I think it's like something like 25 or 30%. I could be wrong about that. It's been a minute since I've looked at those statistics. But yeah, young people in general are not drinking alcohol pretty much at all. And most Americans, it's like over 70+% Americans believe that drinking alcohol is bad for you. I know that sounds crazy. Like, you know, like, yeah, of course it's bad for you. But if you look at statistics a decade ago, a lot of people actually thought that, you know, drinking a certain amount of alcohol was either good for you or not harmful to your health. But I think it's over 70+% of people now agree that drinking any alcohol at all could be bad for you. So, yeah. Anyways, you guys got me excited. You know, you guys get me excited when we talk about fucking groceries. Half my viewers have dipped in, saw that I was talking about groceries, and and then just dipped right back out. Completely understandable, guys. Completely understandable. Mama Brooke, what's happening? Redonk, what's happening? All right. Let's get down here and let's watch videos, talk about some stuff, and then we'll rant some more about groceries here in the near future. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to talk about this because this is the most corrupt government that has ever existed, and that's just a weird thing to say. But the fact that this story exists just really tells you, like, what the mentality of rich people are in this society today. How a $30 million pardon scheme failed even before it got to Trump. So the idea that these people thought that they could just get enough money together to buy this person a pardon, the reason that they believed that is because of the number of people that have already taken advantage of that pipeline. The number of people that have already used money to get somebody into a place where they're close enough to Donald Trump to pretty much purchase a pardon. This is like next level corruption shit. Like, this is in your face. We're going to do it. And you guys are going to just accept that it's okay because we're not hiding it from you. We're doing it in front of your face. Therefore, what's wrong with us doing it? So these are some dudes that got in this. We'll read the story. And we'll talk about it a little bit. This audacious plan crystallized over a lobster dinner in Puerto Rico. That's where a self-stylized connector for the MAGA era says he and a child actor turned crypto enthusiast. Let's read that one more time. A child actor turned crypto enthusiast. What the fuck is this timeline? Hatched an idea to secure a presidential pardon for Bitcoin booster Roger Ver and make millions for themselves in the process. Child actor turned crypto enthusiast. Sometimes I just want to turn the camera off. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I think I'm done. I just want to move off into the fucking woods, man. I live in the woods. I want to move further into the woods. The men, Matt Argel and Brock Pierce, had only tenuous ties to the entrepreneur known as Bitcoin Jesus. But they knew he was angling for a grant of clemency from President Donald Trump, who had just been elected to a second term. Most importantly, the pair suspected Burr was a billionaire and figured that if all went accordingly, he'd be willing to pay $30 million for their efforts. Like, just get a job, dude. Well, I don't know. $30 million, that's a lot of money. I mean, I guess if I thought that I could make $30 million, I wouldn't be trying to get a pardon for somebody that was called Bitcoin Jesus. But I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like too much work to me. Anyways, so Argel reached out to Ver, who was under indictment for tax evasion, offering to assemble a group of people with strong connections to Washington, insiders who could help push the administration for a pardon. In other words, he's saying literally, like, we all know that there's certain people in Trump's administration that if we just grease some pockets, they will 100% help us get you a pardon. Like, this is the pay-to-play administration. He proposed Ver wire $10 million to a trustee account to set the process in motion and cough up an additional $20 million success fee for him and his associates once the pardon came through, according to communications reviewed by Bloomberg News and confirmed by people with direct knowledge of the matter. It's unclear whether Argel and associates had genuine connections to people with power, much less the clout to persuade them that Ver's pardon was a worthy cause. The White House denied any knowledge of the plan. No shit. Donald Trump just says, I don't know those people. Like, that's his immediate reaction to everything. But the episode shows how people on the periphery of the MAGA movement are touting supposed ties to Trump and other administration officials to try to persuade white-collar defendants to fork over money. Those pitchmen promising to try to get the cases in front of the White House are increasingly seeking to cash in on the clemency business, a space once largely populated by pro bono advocates. So, I mean, what they're saying here is that there is a grift within the grift, guys. A grift within the grift. Like, it's our government is a fucking Amway. It's a pyramid scheme. It's fucking Avon. What is going on? These guys, this is usually something where people advocate for people in prison that they think should be allowed out because either they had done their time and had learned their lesson, or because they were, you know, in the opinions of the people that are trying to get them out, unduly criminalized and put in prison. This has now become a thing where people in Trump's circle are available if you would like to maybe grease some palms and possibly, you know, I don't know, give them bribes. I think that's what it's called, bribes. I'm pretty sure those are the words. While the fee proposed to Vera is at the higher end of the scale, other lobbyists, lawyers, and consultants are offering more a la carte options to potential clients. A $5,000 finder's fee to be put in touch with someone who knows someone, or $1 million to prepare an application that is intended to appeal to Trump's grievances about overzealous prosecutions. In a series of communications over encrypted networks earlier this year, Argel and Pierce formulated a plan for Vera. At times, other potential participants with conservative credentials and clemency track records were brought into the discussion. I bet it was a signal chat. Those people have since denied playing any significant role in the effort. The game plan, according to people familiar with the pitch and a review of communications, went something like this. Try to convince as many MAGA influencers as possible of the merits of Vera's cause. Present Vera as someone who was treated unfairly and leverage purported relationships with senior White House officials to get the case in front of Trump. White House spokesman Harrison Fields said all pardon applications are thoroughly reviewed by the pardon czar and White House counsel's office, which just means that all those people that were pardoned on January 6th that were pedos, well, Trump knew that. All of them that were domestic abusers and had, you know, assault against an officer, Trump knew that. And he pardoned them anyways. The pardons process is a serious one. And outside grifters trying to make a big buck by overstating access to the White House will realize that soon enough. The president, after consulting with his senior advisors, will have the final say on all pardons. Ver had a reputation as one of cryptocurrency's most effective promoters when the industry was still in its infancy. Last year, he was charged with tax evasion and mail fraud, accused of hiding gains from selling $240 million in tokens. Ver has since asked a judge to dismiss the criminal indictment against him, arguing he followed a lawyer's advice about tax obligation when he relinquished his citizenship and moved to St. Kitts and Nevis in 2014. A media representative for Ver didn't respond to requests for comment. After 2024's election, Ver joined a chorus of prosecuted crypto investors angling for relief from Trump. He used social media to build a pardon campaign and sat down for interviews with conservative commentators to discuss his battle with U.S. authorities, which just really means going to Tim Pool or Benny Johnson. You know, people that are willing to take money from Russian media. That's what that means. Ver's play was further spotlighted in May when the Wall Street Journal reported that associates of the crypto investor had offered $5 million to $10 million to lobbyists to try to secure him a pardon. Ver's attorney, David Schoen, said that no one intended to pay a pardon for Ver. I just, you know, when you get to all this stuff, what are you supposed to say? What are you supposed to say about a president that is literally available if you have enough money? And what does it say about this individual? Whose wife did this man sleep with that he is not getting a chance? Like, you got to be pretty bad when Trump is pardoning pedos and fucking people that have assaulted police and domestic violencers, child prawn people. And he won't give you a chance. You know you have fucked up. It's a Laura Loomer. Dan, that's actually probably right. He probably did not go on a date with Laura Loomer or went on a date with Laura Loomer and pissed her off. That's actually probably a good call. Okay. Let's see. Earlier this year, Argyle began reaching out to Ver, offering to advocate for his freedom. An associate described him as a deal maker. Argyle told people he had helped companies secure lucrative government contracts, according to communications reviewed by Bloomberg. I want to believe that's not true. I do. I want to believe that's not true, but you know it's true. He previously ran call centers near Tampa, Florida, selling health supplements like African mangoes and acai, with one client describing him in a LinkedIn post as a guy with a bleached mohawk who could sell anything to anyone. Is this fucking idiocracy? He previously... Sorry. While his LinkedIn profile photo featured him with Health Secretary RFK Jr., no shit, Argyle, whose email signature reads, "From the desk of Lord Argyle," didn't appear to have any clear connections to Trump's inner circle. His pitch to Ver leaned heavily on the purported political sway of others. A spokesman for Kennedy didn't respond to requests for comment. You don't say. In the communications reviewed by Bloomberg, Argyle said that Ver's situation was brought to his attention by Washington lobbyist Robert Wassinger, who is described on his biography page as one of the first senior members of Trump's 2016 campaign. Wassinger and Ver were first in contact in late 2024 about lobbying for a potential pardon. But the lobbyist wasn't retained. People familiar with the matter said Wassinger had success in the clemency world before, having helped Republican fundraiser Elliot Broidy secure a pardon during the first Trump administration, according to people with knowledge of the case. Once again, Wassinger, of course, declined to comment. It's funny how all of these people that are involved are declining to comment. In communications earlier this year with Ver, Argyle's friend Pierce, who starred in the Disney film The Mighty Ducks as a child. What is this timeline? Oh, that must be the child star turned cryptocurrency enthusiast, right? That's who we're talking about. Okay, the pieces are falling together, guys. One of the co-founders of Tether, Pierce is now chairman of the Bitcoin Foundation and darts between Washington and Puerto Rico, where he bought an old W hotel that has been at the center of costly litigation. You don't say. During one of their interactions in January, Pierce thanked Ver for his contribution to the crypto industry, assuring the indicted investor that he had his back. According to a review of the communications, that same day, Argyle posted photographs on Instagram of a ocean sunset and him and Pierce drinks in hand. During some of the communications, Argyle suggested that people who would help work on Ver's case had supposed connections to senior officials. Pierce Argyle said in an interview, knew Ver from their early crypto days and estimated Ver's net worth was somewhere from $10 billion to $20 billion. Pierce and Argyle figured that asking Ver to pay them a $20 million success fee for securing his pardon was more than reasonable. These are these people. These are our potential overlords, guys. These are the potential overlords that we're going to be dealing with soon, guys. Anyways. I read this shit and I was like, I can't. Like, what is going on? What is going on, guys? Where are we at? What are we doing? Is this America now, guys? Is this really what we're doing now? I like that dude's hat. Dean. Oh, God. That's where we're at. That's all we have. All we have left is kind of like dude's hat. So anyways, I wanted to drop that one on you guys and talk to you guys about that one first before we got to our next war. Let's talk about our next war. You guys, let's talk about the breaking news that Donald Trump is sending warships to approach Caribbean waters, and that Maduro now is mobilizing 4.5 million militia troops. Remember, guys, he's the most anti-war president that has ever existed, that has been involved in wars since fucking day one. So let's watch Kyle Kalinske talk about this potential disaster.
All right, guys, got some massive breaking news here for you. So this is in the Miami Herald. As U.S. warships approach Caribbean waters, Maduro mobilizes 4.5 million militias. Okay, so we're going to get into this, but you have 3 different U.S. warships being sent to Venezuela. You also have 4,000 Marines being activated to be sent to Venezuela. So this is not looking good, y'all. This is not looking good. Now, Trump also signed...
Yeah, it's looking pretty bad. Like, what happened? I mean, I know what happened. I didn't believe Donald Trump was anti-war. I realized, I knew that Donald Trump was an anti-war. You know how I knew Donald Trump was an anti-war? Because in his first term, he dropped a bomb called the mother of all bombs. Not because we needed to, but because he was like, that's a dope name. Oh.
I love the poorly educated.
I did, you know.
Obama.
That's how I knew. You know, or countless amount of drone strikes in Syria and Afghanistan, the recognizing of the annexation of the Golan Heights, recognizing of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Like, the man's not fucking anti-war, and this is why I hate politics, because it's like, can I show you all of this stuff, both current and past, that proves that he is not anti-war? And people are like, nah, he don't like war, though. Brenda, they're saying he likes war again. It's so weird that they keep saying he likes war. He doesn't. Like, he doesn't like war at all. Also, like, he doesn't support Israel.
The directive the other week to greenlight attacks on Mexican drug cartels in Mexico in violation of Mexico's sovereignty.
Yeah, we did a video on that. We already did a video on that one. It's hard to keep up with all this shit.
So you have the Mexican government going, we don't want you fucking bombing in here. What are you talking about? And you have Trump going, we're going to bomb there. That's what we're going to do.
I also saw something that said, our boats can't catch the cartel boats. And you know what that makes me think of? Miami Vice. All right? For those of you that are my age, it makes me think of Miami Vice. All right? I immediately think of the cartel in fucking speedboats, fucking with some like neon pink and green fucking Ray-Bans on, just bouncing across the waves as like fucking some dudes in a border patrol boat are like trying to catch them. It makes me think of the Cocaine Cowboys. Like, I told you guys from the fucking beginning this was going to be embarrassing. As like we are attempting to fight cartels that are potentially just as well equipped as we are, and I was wrong. Apparently they have better boats than we do.
So he threatens Greenland, he threatens Mexico, he threatens Panama, he's already bombed Somalia, he's already bombed Yemen, he's already illegally bombed Iran, he tried a coup in Venezuela in his...
No, dude. No, he's anti-war, bro. Like, all of that's wrong, because he's totally anti-war.
Last term and didn't succeed. Remember all the Juan Guaido bullshit where they pretended like this guy who was not the leader of Venezuela? They just pretended like he was. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
Wait, this is going to be totally off topic, but is Don Johnson a Trump supporter? I just need to know. Hey, guys. And what is it? What was the other guy? What was the black dude's name? God damn it. I should be able to remember his name. It was Don Johnson. Jan Michael Vincent? Am I wrong? Did I just get that one? Jan Michael Vincent? I think I might be right. Although I might be confusing him with the guy that was an Airwolf. That would be embarrassing for me if I confused the black dude from Miami Vice with the white dude from Airwolf. Anyways, just you guys figure that one out for me. Figure out if Don Johnson is a Trump supporter. I need it for research purposes.
In his last term and didn't succeed. Remember all the Juan Guaido bullshit where they pretended like this guy who was not
the screwworm is
the
coming
leader
back.
of Venezuela.
Great.
They just pretended like he was. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. There's like, oh yeah, he's the president. No, he's fucking not. He never won the fucking election.
Fuck, Philip Michael Thomas? It was 3 names, though. Oh, I did. Shit. That's embarrassing. This one's for me, guys.
I love the poorly educated.
This one's also for me.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
I'm a genius. Oh, guys. Oh, I can't. That one's on tape. That one's on YouTube forever, guys.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Maddening. And the media played along with it. They played along with it.
Oh, shit. Mama Burke says she found a couple articles that says Don Johnson is not a Trump supporter. Bam! Oh, it feels good. Oh, it feels good, guys. We're going to need to make sure that we update and verify. Okay? I don't want no chat GPT shit. All right? But, God, that feels good. If that's true, that feels good.
Well, now, it appears like some behind-the-scenes decision has been made, illegally, by the way, illegally, to do war with Venezuela, or at least attempt another regime change. But since we got warships going there and Marines going there, it looks like more than just a regime change operation.
You guys remember the guy that was in here the other day that was in the chat that was like, Trump can't release the files because he's not allowed to. And I was like, Trump does, even if that were true, which is not true, but even if that were true, Donald Trump doesn't give two shit about the rules. Like somebody said the other day, it's not that Donald Trump breaks the rules. It's that Donald Trump does not think there are rules. He is unaware of any rules. Like, you are not supposed to, as the executive branch, be able to just unilaterally go to war. That's not supposed to be how that happens. Like right now, guys, when it happens, just so happens with tariffs, we are on this potential collapse in America because Donald Trump decided to do Congress's job, which is fucking bananas to me because Congress would just roll over and do whatever the fuck he wants them to do. It's bananas to me. But the way he did tariffs using the Emergency Act to claim that America was, being attacked by our debt, which is a fucking strange thing to say, but that is where we're at, that it enabled him through this Emergency Act to be able to put forth these tariffs. That is currently being appealed in a court of law, and one court already said, no, you can't do that. Like, this, we are putting in tariffs into place that we're not, the executive branch isn't supposed to be able to do unilaterally, and now we're going to war with other countries, which once again, the executive branch is not allowed to do unilaterally, which once again goes to prove the point that everybody that said bro was going to be a dictator, yet they were right. Do you guys remember that fucking video? It was like, are you gonna be a dictator? The left keeps saying you're gonna be a dictator. Are you gonna be a dictator? And he's like, only on day one. Day one, that's it. Just gonna deport some people. Like, how fucking dumb as a Trump supporter do you have to be? And I know this isn't dumb. I know it's not that they were dumb. I know that they were just like fucking, they didn't care. So this isn't a good argument for that. How morally fucking bankrupt of a human being do you have to be to say He's going to deport all of the immigrants that we want out of our country in one day, and then he's going to relinquish his dictator control. Because you weren't dumb. You knew that wasn't possible. You were just morally bankrupt. And you were like, you know what? I don't mind if Donald Trump becomes an authoritarian dictator for the next 4 years and fucking rousts people off the street and throws them in vans and detains them and deports them without telling their family. As long as I get to watch it on TikTok and apparently jerk off to it.
Where it might be the CIA or some covert method. This looks like it's knock, knock, bitch, we're here and we're going to try to topple you. So, this is crazy. You want to talk about controlled by the military-industrial complex. I've already seen speculation that Eric Prince, the mercenary war criminal
who
gave us Blackwater, where all these innocent civilians got killed in Iraq by Blackwater, Christian fundamentalist extremists who were invading that country, apparently he may be the one whispering in Trump's ear about Venezuela, and he may have gotten the green light for this.
And just by the way, that's the same dude that wants Trump to use third-party, pretty much mercenaries, to round up immigrants and deport them as well. That's the same dude. There's reports that guy has attempted to be in Trump's ear and get him to use third-party resources, which are probably still on the table. By the way, one of the hallmarks of dictatorship is using mercenaries. Usually foreign mercenaries, because usually you have to get people that don't live in the country, that don't have ties to the country, to round up the populace and to police them. But apparently Americans are so fucking stupid. You guys know the word I wanted to use. So fucking stupid that our fucking National Guard, our military, our federal agents, they're just like, yeah, we'll do it. In fact, old people. I heard that they're fucking employing old people now at ICE. Which is going to be hilarious, to be honest with you, when some fucking 87-year-old attempts to tackle me and remove me from the country. I'll tell you this, someone's getting their hip broken, and, well, it ain't going to be me. Look, I saw the fucking sandwich thrower run away from ICE, okay? I watched that man fucking jog it off. Either those ICE guys weren't legit trying to catch him, or they are fat and fucking out of shape. Maybe they were elderly.
This is wild. All right, so here we go. In response to an increased U.S. military presence in the Caribbean, Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro announced that his government will activate a special plan to mobilize over 4.5 million militia members across the country to defend national sovereignty. The announcement follows reports that 3 U.S. Navy destroyers, the USS Gravely, USS Jason Dunham, and USS Sampson, are heading to the southern Caribbean with thousands of Marines aboard as part of a major counter-narcotics operation. The move coincides with Washington's recent decision to raise the bounty for Maduro's capture to an unprecedented $50 million.
Look, I'm no fan of Maduro, by the way. For $50 million, I might head over there. We're going to be doing some fucking Angry Ginger the Bounty Hunter shit. $50 million? How well respected is Maduro there? I mean, didn't the motherfucker steal the election? I might be able to... Well, actually, you know, weren't there some Navy SEALs that already tried that shit? And they got caught. I might not be able to pull this one off, guys. But, I mean, it depends on how fucking expensive food gets here in America. Look, guys, I've got a potential plan for us. If tariffs raise the price of canned goods to like $30 a can and just shit's just out of control, maybe we posse up and maybe we make the attempt. Because like I said, not a fan of Maduro. $50 million is a lot of money.
That's the other thing. And I believe we covered this the other day. That
you think that's low? Okay.
A press conference.
Okay, maybe we can wait until it gets higher.
We're offering $50 million for Nicolas Maduro. Well, that was a sign that, oh yeah, it's on again. It's on like Donkey Kong, and we're going to go for this motherfucker. We're going to try to do it again. So, again, stop and think about this. We were told,
Wait. So, Trump likes Bolsonaro, but doesn't like Maduro?
America first. Make America great again. America first. The forgotten men and women will never be forgotten again. That's what we were told.
Yeah, he's a fucking liar.
And, oh, look at that. Trump gets in office, already fucking started an illegal war with Iran, attacked them when they weren't going to attack us, and they weren't building a fucking nuke. Already arming and funding a genocide in Gaza, greenlighting the total destruction of Gaza, reoccupation of Gaza, taking over the entire West Bank, doing this on behalf of his Israeli donor benefactors like Miriam Adelson, by the way, now gonna try to take Venezuela. Motherfucker, are you gonna give us anything for the American people? Anything. No. In fact, what did Trump do?
We're done.
He looked at the good things Biden did, like the CHIPS Act, for example, which will create hundreds of thousands of jobs, the infrastructure bill. Again, Biden was on track to create, 800,000 manufacturing jobs? What does Trump do? He goes in there, he kills the funding for those bills.
I think it's 500,000.
So now,
I could be wrong.
We're outsourcing jobs. Mr. Anti-Outsourcing, America First. Turns out we're outsourcing jobs under him. We're killing 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. We're launching a trade war, which further will lead to increased unemployment. And at the same time, he's destroying the U.S. economy day in, day out. Unemployment going up.
Hold on, Kyle. You're being negative. The Chris Pratt in me is about to come out, bro. But they're removing red dye 40. Yeah, they haven't followed through on any of those promises. Yes, they are taxing the shit out of American citizens. Yeah, we're all gonna fucking go into stagflation, possibly a recession or depression. But you know what? Chris Pratt said that we're being too negative, guys. Fucking, they're getting red dye 40 out. Which, by the way, I'm for. I just don't think it counterbalances the rest of the shit that's going. What is this fucking timeline? How dumb is this fucking timeline? They're getting red dye 40 out. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. What did we have to give for that again? Like, is this what the American people have to trade for any type of W at all? We're like, oh, we would like to get cancer-causing ingredients out of our food supply. We think that would be pretty dope. And the government's like, yeah, we could do that. And we're like, oh, you could? That's dope. They're like, so what do we have to give? And they're like, oh, pretty much we should be able to like round up your friends and deport them without any due process. And you're like, okay, that doesn't seem fair. Oh, by the way, we're gonna maybe start some, foreign wars after we told you we wouldn't start any at all. Like, one or the other? No, both. Also, we're going to add some other stuff in. Like, you're going to give a bunch of your wealth to the ultra-wealthy as well. You guys also are going to pay more for groceries and used cars and pretty much everything but TVs. Don't worry, TVs will be cheaper. Oh, but we get red dye 40 out? Yeah, Chris Pratt said that's a dope deal. Star-Lord said that? Yeah, Star-Lord said that. Okay, I guess that's a good idea. Fuck me.
Inflation going up, manufacturing jobs going overseas. You're going to start a war with
yes,
Venezuela.
Chris Pratt said that.
You're going to start a fucking war with Venezuela.
Kelly. He said that.
On what planet? Is Maduro a threat to me? Is Maduro a threat to you? What is Maduro doing that's putting your life in danger? Is there even the pretense anymore? Back in the day, they had the respect. The government had the respect for the population enough to at least lie that your ass is in danger because of this foreign government that we got to do something about.
No, there's like boats right around the corner, guys. If we don't do something right now, like we could all be in trouble. Trump's just like, nope, I don't like that guy. Is it like dictator envy? Is that what it is? What did Maduro do? Because Donald Trump loves fucking bukkake over there in fucking El Salvador. He loves Bolsonaro. Like, what is the difference with this other dictator? Why do we have dictator envy?
They at least used to lie like there was some imminent threat of them coming to attack us, right? Now, Trump doesn't even bother. I'll bomb Somalia Monday. I'll bomb Yemen Tuesday. I'll do a coup in Venezuela on Wednesday. And you can shut the fuck up and take it. You can sit there and take it because Trump himself is swimming in however many millions of dollars given to him by the military-industrial complex. And he's going to represent them. He's not going to represent you. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He doesn't know who you are. He doesn't care who you are. He doesn't care what you're going through. Oh, you can't pay your... Oh, you're going bankrupt from medical bills.
He does not give a shit.
Oh, too bad. Well, I'll lie and say I'm cutting drug prices by 1,000% and 1,400%. In reality, he's doing no such thing. In reality, he signed an executive order on day one that increases drug prices. Increases it. Full of shit through and through. Through and through. Unbelievable, bro, what we're witnessing here. All right, so they continue in the Miami Herald. They say, Maduro and several of his top allies have been indicted by U.S. prosecutors for allegedly turning Venezuela into a narco state through the so-called Cartel of the Suns. Maduro has dismissed the charges as rotting rerun aimed at justifying foreign intervention. Quote, this week I'm launching a special plan to ensure coverage.
Wait. He just wants their oil. Oil! Somebody say, oil! That's really what this is about, isn't it? We're just going to take their oil. This is fucking a tale as old as time.
Coverage by more than 4.5 million prepared, activated, and armed militia members across the national territory, Maduro declared Monday during a televised event, flanked by senior military commanders. He said the move is needed to counter what he described as the extravagant, bizarre, and outlandish threats from the United States. He also urged his political base...
Damn, how you got me fucking agreeing with Maduro? What is this weird fucking world that we live in? I think last week I was agreeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now I'm like, actually, it is pretty extravagant, bizarre, and outlandish what we doing nowadays. Like, what the fuck is this timeline?
To accelerate the creation of rural and industrial militias, rifles and missiles for the rural forces to defend Venezuela's territory, sovereignty, and peace, Maduro exclaimed, adding that the similar weapons would be distributed to workers in factories. Hey guys, where the fuck is the media talking about this? Why are you listening to a YouTube asshole who rants?
Hey, Kyle, I feel targeted. Is he talking about me, guys? I think Kyle just called me out. Fucking psychic and shit. Oh, and for you guys who are asking if Chris Pratt really said that, yeah. So, one caveat just to make sure. I don't want to be totally throwing Star-Lord's fucking cultish ass under a bus. Look, I like Star-Lord. Guardians of the Galaxy was one of my favorite fucking Marvel movies. 1 and 2. 3 kind of sucked, to be honest with you. Not a fan of 3. 1 and 2. 2, I cried at the end. Yeah, it was emotional, okay? Sylvester Stallone, total Trump supporter. Did not know that. Fucking... What do you expect? CTE, brother. CTE. But it turns out, just to be 100% fair, Chris Pratt, RFK Jr. supporter. RFK Jr. supporter. Not a Trump supporter, but thinks that you should forgive the Trump administration because we got Red Dye 40 out. Once again, totally for Red Dye 40 being removed from the... I work in the health food industry, guys. I just feel... like we didn't get a fair deal on that one. Just wanted to make sure I was 100% on that.
Why are you listening to a prick like me? Why isn't CNN talking about this? Why isn't MSNBC talking about this? Why isn't the nightly news talking about this?
Thing.
Why is this not all over your feed?
Yep,
We're going to do another fucking war. Another war. Another one. And we're the only one talking about it? We're the only fucking ones talking about it. It's despicable. It's disgraceful. It's deplorable. By the way, so here is fascist Barbie talking to us, Carolyn Levitt, and... she says the following.
Merton says, I used to support RFK Jr., not so much anymore. You know, the whole RFK Jr. thing for me, when people ask me, like, at first, like, whether or not I would support him, I was like, I don't know a lot about him. Seems like kind of like a bro dude. I don't know. He's harmless in the way of, like, you know, I don't think that he's Trump. And then the more I looked into him, specifically being somebody that's been around health food as long as I have, it just seems like he's just another one of these people that touts the benefits of things that doesn't, like, completely understand things, and it just feels like more death of intellectualism. You know, like I said at the beginning of the video, I was having a conversation with somebody who was, you know, pretty much kind of, you know, disparaging what I'm doing, which is completely acceptable. I'm not saying that, you know, like America doesn't have credentialed press anymore and journalists and stuff. Instead, they have, you know, me and Kyle, which no offense to Kyle. Kyle is about 1,000 times better than I am, better educated, better, you know, I guarantee Kyle has a actual credential in journalism. But like Kyle said, like there's no news media reporting on this. It's Kyle doing it on YouTube, and that's fucking crazy. And so my whole thing with RFK Jr. is like, I kind of just feel like he sold out his supporters because he's just willing to take anybody. Like, I think if Kamala Harris would have been open to him being in her administration, he would have joined up. If Bernie Sanders would have been open, he would have joined up. If anybody, and just Trump, he was willing to talk. And to me, morally, that just speaks a lot about you. Not you, Merton, but about RFK Jr. Like, for a person to be willing to morally support what is going on right now just so you can say that you got, as a Kennedy, you got into the White House. To me, it's fucking sad. It really is. I mean, I blame the brainworm.
I wanted to ask about the 3 U.S. warships that are being sent to Venezuela, and there's 4,000 Marines on board. Are you looking at possibility of boots on the ground there?
What I will say with respect to Venezuela, President Trump has been very clear and consistent. He's prepared to use every element of American power.
Did she just say President Trump has been clear and consistent? That's a fucking lie. Let's get that one more time in case I misheard that.
Boots on the ground there?
What I will say with respect to Venezuela, President Trump has been very clear and consistent.
She did say that. She did say that. Damn, that job, you gotta give something to Carolyn Levitt. Like, to be able to sit up there and just say that shit with a straight face, like, that is good. That, you have to give her props for that. Like, she said that shit totally straight face, didn't even stutter.
Prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our country and to bring those responsible to justice. The Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel. In Maduro, it is the view of this administration, is not a legitimate president. He is a fugitive head of this cartel who has been indicted in the United States for trafficking drugs into the country. And with that, I will leave you all, and we will...
It's so incredible because both Nayib Bukele, our ally, and the U.S., we released drug cartel members, we released MS-13 members. We literally just allowed in the entire family of the drug kingpin El Chapo.
Yeah, across the Mexican border, which is like nobody else is allowed to come in but a drug kingpin's family? What?
Trump just let them in with open arms and welcomed them. And at the same time, the argument that you're making is that, oh yeah, Venezuela is a narco state or something, so that's why we got to go after them. None of this shit is even fucking true. The reality is they have fucking oil, and you want the oil. And the whole idea of they believe in the old school philosophy, this old realist philosophy of, look, the U.S., we own and dominate our hemisphere. And Venezuela is a rogue actor in our hemisphere because they don't submit to U.S. hegemony. And so this is an attempt to make them submit to U.S. hegemony, get rid of Maduro, and put in some...
Bro, are we about to do regime change? Are we taking this back to the 70s? I guess we could just go back to Iraq. It wasn't that long ago. My bad. My bad. Are we doing regime change? I don't have my regime change uniform. I still have my fucking authoritarian dictatorship fascism fucking uniform on the way. I wasn't ready for regime change.
Somebody else. That's what this is.
Damn it.
The idea that this has anything to do, oh, yeah, it's about protecting our children with drugs or so. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? God, I hate them so much. They're such liars. They're so fucking despicable. And this is all Trump does now. All Trump does is invade shit. All Trump does is attack places, right? I mean, this motherfucker invaded Los Angeles and now Washington, D.C., and now he wants to add another country to the list of places he wants to...
Bro, he's about to drop the mother of all bombs on, like, fucking Chicago. We are T-minus, like, I don't know, 2.5 months before Trump bombs, like, one of our own fucking cities.
Illegally invade and bomb and attack. It's enough already. It's enough already. Anybody who's still in the cult, you don't have my sympathy. You don't have my empathy. You don't have my respect. I think you're a joke. I think you're a clown.
Yep.
I think you're a
100%.
dipshit. I think if you couldn't realize at this late date what this guy is and how much of a despicable, disgusting failure he is and how much he's tanking this country, I think there's no hope for you if that's the case. I think there's no hope for you. Or go ahead. Let's see MAGA go out there. Hey, when the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing happened, what happened to the Republican base? Their support for Trump went up. It went up. Same thing with the bombing Iran. We covered the polls. When he bombed Iran, the support went up among the Republican base. Everybody else was like, what the fuck is this? The Republican base loved it. So go ahead, let's see. Now starting another illegal war with Venezuela this time, I'm sure the support will go up when we launch another illegal, dumbass war. But here we are. Hey, y'all, do me a favor.
Yep, because they are who they are. This is even in these conversations I have with other people that are outside the country, and they're like, well, you guys need to do this, or you guys need to do that. It's like, I'm like, I don't think you truly understand what we're working with. You know, I remember when Trump was running for president in 2024 against Kamala, and Rin, who is the guy who does the song at the beginning of the show, Money Game Part 2, was posting, you know, like, the way to get out of all of this is for people to come together, not to divide, right? And he's not wrong. But a lot of people that came on to that tweet and were pushing back against it were like, you can't find common ground with MAGA. And, you know, he's from the UK. He's from outside of America. He's not up to date with how insane Trump supporters are. He thinks of it in the manner of, like, conservatives versus liberals, conservatives versus Democrats. He doesn't think about it like in the way that Trump has, you know, created this cult of personality, this loyalty that's, like, out of control. He thought he was thinking about it. So this black man came in and he was like, you know, he's like, I'm not joining up with a bunch of people that think that because of the color of my skin that I'm subhuman. And Rin kind of gave him the, you know, well, dude, like, you know, you're part of the problem. If you're not going to try to, you know, stand with your fellow man, then you're just making things worse. And the black dude was like, fuck you. You know, I used to be a fan of yours, but if that's the way you feel about me, you can go fuck yourself. And I kind of hopped in there and was like, hey, man, like, you know, I know that gets you worked up, but you need to realize that, like, Rin isn't from here. He does not fully understand what you're talking about. He looks at what's going on with Donald Trump and just goes, oh, it's just another American politician that's super bombastic, super hyperbolic, you know, like, it's not that bad, right? And I tried to talk the dude down. I was like, hey, man, I was like, at the end of the day, time is going to show to Rin who this person is. And the black dude was like, fuck that. He can figure it out on his own. I'm never fucking listening to this music ever again. And I was like, all right, I hope for a path to redemption for people like that just don't understand. Because I do think, like, there's so many people that are outside the country right now that are like, well, yeah, you just, like, got to do journalism stuff. You guys just got to, like, you know, call it out. And you got to, like, do a better job and, you know, be better educated people. And it's like, I don't think you clearly understand what is going on in this country right now. It is out of this world, and I don't think many people looking at what's going on in America from outside, well, now I think that more people understand, but I don't think a lot of those people before this happened understood exactly where this was going to go. It's fucking insane. Anyways, we will stop attacking you for 35% off your oil. Yeah, exactly. And you know that's what he's doing. That, you know, that's what he's going to do. That he's going to pressure them with the military. He's going to find a way to get some of the oil out of Venezuela, and then Trump supporters are going to be like, "Damn, art of the deal, art of the deal."
I love the poorly educated.
All right, what else we got here? So we've got. Speaking of, we might as well talk about this because you guys know I want to talk about this so bad. So. This is just a video article, but it speaks to what I wanted to say, so I'm just going to let it play. It doesn't have any actual, like, sound to it, and I'm just going to read it and talk to you guys a little bit about a lot of this stuff. So, as I said at the start of the show, you know, we've talked about this multiple times. These big grocery stores like Kroger's are not reinvesting money into store staff. They're not reinvesting money into wages. Instead, what they're doing is they're reinvesting money into technology and giving money to CEOs and giving money to shareholders. And this is just more proof that the American middle class is once again getting the short end of the stick. Grocery jobs are one of the few jobs that almost anybody, regardless of education level, can get into and have upward movement in, get benefits, attain retirement, and that's because they're union jobs. Not all of them, but most of them. There's a grocers union. And when you see what grocery stores like Kroger's are doing with these digital shelf tags, they're using the excuse that the reason that people have been paying more money at the register than what is advertised on the shelves is because they don't have enough money to have employees enough employees on the floor to take down these sales tags in time, and so sales tags are being left up. Now, by the way, Kroger's made an insane amount of profit during COVID, as all grocery stores did. I have 20 years in the grocery industry. I can tell you this for a fact. Grocery stores made an insane amount of money during COVID. I had a woman today ask me, she goes, "Can I ask you a question about the eggs?" And I go, "Yeah, for sure. What's up?" She goes, "Why are they $3.99?" And I said, "Well, because that's the price." And she said, "Yeah, but they're more expensive elsewhere. Why have they always been $3.99 here?" And I said, "This is going to be like, this answer probably isn't going to make you happy." I go, "But because we've been honest, because we're not price gouging you." And she kind of was like, "Yeah, but I'm saying, like, why?" And I'm like, "Because we didn't want to take advantage of customers." And that's like the mentality of customers right now, is like, that doesn't make sense. What do you mean? Like, people don't understand, because if they do understand, it's going to lead to a fucking revolution. And that is, huge corporations have been price gouging you, and you think that, oh, well, we've gone through these tough times, so they're going to stop doing this. But that's not how capitalism works. The phase of capitalism that we currently are in is the phase where we create complete food deserts, because when SNAP is diminished, when less people can get SNAP, then less people have grocery stores in poor areas, because those grocery stores in poor areas actually make a lot of the money that they do make off of supplemental food income or food stamps. When SNAP goes away, those grocery stores go away. When those grocery stores go away, job opportunities go away. When job opportunities go away, you have more poor people, which means that you have more crime, which means that you have more mom and pop owned liquor stores, cash checking places, check cashing places, where they take advantage of people that are unbanked. We're in the phase where poor people are going to be disenfranchised from America. They already feel as though they've been left behind, but now they're going to feel as though they've been pushed so far out to the outer edges that no one cares. These poor people will be allowed to commit crimes on each other, because they're going to want to save their police force for the better areas, which is what's happening in D.C. right now with the federalizing of the police force. They're not sending them down into poor areas and stopping poor people from committing crimes on poor people. They're stopping poor people, brown people, black people from coming down to DuPont Circle. So they're going to disenfranchise poor people completely. And then the middle class, which thinks, well, fucking, they need us, they won't completely just destroy the middle class. You're about to find out how wrong that is. We are in a phase where now you are literally being milked for every last drop. And when they're done with you, they're going to throw you away, and they're going to hope that you die before you ever get the chance to benefit from Social Security. What they're doing right now is they're putting digital tags on shelves. They are not putting more money into their staffing. They are not increasing wages to make their employees happier. They are not giving better benefits. They are not giving better retirement. They are putting electronic tags on shelves so they can change prices and not get in trouble, and also so they can start doing dynamic pricing, which means prices can literally change from the time that you pick it up off the shelf to the time that you take it to the register. So I want to talk a little bit about this. So the digital revolution hits grocery aisles. Prices now change faster than you can shop. Whoops. Static grocery shelf price tags are disappearing nationwide, replaced by digital displays that update prices instantly. Electronic shelf labels are spreading across the U.S. and European grocery chains rapidly. Some Norwegian stores now update prices up to 100 times daily using this technology. Retailers claim benefits include reduced waste and improved accuracy for consumers. So this is how they're going to sell it to you. They're going to tell you, no, 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 this is actually better. Because once again, they're going to depend on the middle class eating the middle class. They've created such a competition down below on us versus them, rather than us versus them, that they're going to sell this to you as, well, in the end, we're going to be able to keep shelf prices lower because we don't have to pay people to come out and change these tags. So you as a consumer, it's not going to affect you because you don't work in the grocery industry. But what they're not saying is it's going to affect other people around you that are of the same class as you, which is going to make the position that you're in worse off for you, because when the people around you do worse, specifically in the middle class, you do worse. That's just economics. And if you take a look at these price tags, as you can see, they are electronic. They do have currently plans, and I don't know that any stores are currently using this technology, but to use AI facial technology to scan your facial features while you're purchasing products. Now, this is important. The technology enables instant responses to supply changes, competitor pricing, and time of day fluctuations. So what they're saying when they say that, that means that if I get a catalog, if I get an electronic catalog that tells me that the price of canned goods has gone up at a supplier, but has not gone up on the product that I have purchased to put on my store shelves, I can instantly change the prices of all of those products to the price that it would be once that I get that product from the supplier. So that is artificially inflating prices based off of future cost changes. That means higher margins for grocery stores. That also means when they say competitor pricing, once again, they're going to try and sell this to you. Oh, well, we're going to be competitive against other places. These grocery store chains already own like something like 20% of the entire grocery industry. There is no competition. What they're actually saying is that if I have my price at $4.99 and my competitor is at $5.99, I can change my price to $5.89 like that. And when they talk about time of day fluctuations, the people that are going to be the worst affected by this are the working class. People that work 9-to-5 jobs that are only able to go and grocery shop during times that other people like them can shop. This is not going to be, they're trying to sell it to you as though you're going to be able to pick the hour that you go and grocery shop so you can get better prices. First of all, those prices are never going to go below a certain cost. They're never going to lose margin on a product. So pretty much what they're telling you is we're going to set a base margin of 30% on a product, and then depending on what time of day it is, it could go up to 35, 40, or 45%. Because there's no fucking reason for a grocery store to drop margins below their baseline margin. They're never going to lose margin on a product. You're never going to walk through the doors of a Kroger's and buy something for $1.99 when the baseline margin is $2.49. You're always going to pay $2.49 or above. That's what they're saying. And if you walk in at 4 o'clock and you spend an hour shopping and you take your product up to the register at 5 o'clock, then most likely you are paying premium prices for those groceries. So there you go. Budget-conscious shoppers face new complexity in once was predictable grocery spending. So that's another thing is, so say you're a coupon shopper. Say you're like, oh, I can go in and I can get $2 off of this product, right? But what if you go in during a time where it's the busiest time of day, you use your coupon, and all it does is take that price from $6.99 to $4.99, and you could have got the $4.99 price an hour ago. This is you're making people that already have 2 parents in any home working 40-hour-a-week jobs, oftentimes needing a second job for one of those people or a monetization of their hobbies. Do you think that people that barely have any time at all in the middle class right now to spend time to properly parent their children are going to be able to effectively shop using dynamic pricing hours when they're already fucking spending hours of their week cutting coupons out in the attempt to save $30, $40? This isn't for you. It's for them. So here's the lie. Digital pricing offers both opportunities and risks for consumers shopping strategically. Perishables near expiration may see immediate markdowns, creating savings for alert shoppers. What they're saying is, if a product is literally about to date or expire, we're going to do you a favor and mark it down. No, once again, this is savings for the store. I work in a store that is hyper intense about getting rid of products before they date. We have practically no waste at all. We do that because we are a medium-sized business and we can handle that. When a person comes into a store and they want to purchase a product, they want to know that it is expiring. They want to know that it is clearance. We clearly mark products for people because there are people that are not interested in purchasing a product that is close to expiration date because they cannot go through it in a certain amount of time. So instead, now what they're going to make you do is they're going to go, oh, look, this product's on the shelf and we're going to reduce it in price, but if you can't go through this in a few days and it expires tonight, then you're fucked. But hey, don't worry, you paid less money. This is a boon, once again, for corporations, and they're not going to reinvest this money in employees. They're not going to reinvest this in infrastructure. They are just going to give this money to CEOs and shareholders. That's it. Yep, Merton, that is true. However, prices may also rise during high traffic periods or vary by location. Many retailers deny using surge-style tactics, but price manipulation potentially exists. It doesn't potentially exist. It exists. It exists now before they have a much easier way of going about it. This is not something that is going to, all of a sudden, corporations are going to stop doing what they've been doing this entire time. They're going to be worse. Shoppers need new strategies, including flexible meal planning and baseline price tracking. Store apps can alert users to price drops and lock prices. So this is what they expect you to do. Already you have coupon clippers, right? What they expect you to do is to be so fucking on point when it comes to your grocery shopping that you can get cheaper groceries. There is no fucking timeline in which this should be the case. The middle class, the people that need the most help, other than impoverished people, obviously. When I say middle class, I want everybody to understand something. I mean anything from middle class and below. The middle class, the group of American citizens, the working class in America, I should just say the working class in America, the last thing that we need right now is more complication so that way we can save $4 more. We're stressed out, we're exhausted, we're overworked, we're inundated with political decisions that never have our best interests in mind. The last thing we need is a bunch of fucking condescending piece of shit, ultra-wealthy corporations and politicians going, well, if you were just better about the way you shopped, you wouldn't be so poor. That's going to get you punched in the face. Documentation of suspicious pricing patterns could help consumer watchdogs and policy advocates. Diversifying shopping between digital stores or digital markets provides pricing stability. Once again, bullshit. You shouldn't have to do that. These ultra-wealthy corporations make enough money. Kroger's makes billions of dollars in profit per year. That's bullshit. But when we talk about suspicious pricing patterns could help consumer watchdogs, the consumer watchdog that is currently being ran is being ran by Elizabeth Warren. ask yourself this. In an administration that cuts regulation, do you think that they're going to give two shits about whether or not you're getting price gouged? They already said no. Kamala Harris said, let's put into effect a federal price gouging ban on times of crisis. And people said no. These fucking morons out there that I saw CNN going, that's actually price controls. They're fucking dumb. It's not price controls. Putting a price gouging ban on times of crisis already exists in 34 states across the United States of America. Putting it at a federal level just makes it easier to fund it. Price controls are a lot different than a price gouging ban, but they are banking on the fact that middle-class Americans are uneducated and unwilling to research the things that they need to research to become literate enough to understand the difference. And they were right, because Donald Trump won. Run, not ran. Sorry, Ross. The same systems enabling rapid changes can deliver better transparency in deals. Preparation through app familiarity and flexible budgeting helps consumers adapt successfully. Once again, this is bullshit. Bullshit. I don't know how to say it any fucking clearer. Anything that requires an exhausted middle class, an exhausted impoverished community, an exhausted working class to jump through more fucking hoops to be able to decrease their fucking grocery bill is bullshit. Stop letting these people sell you this shit in this manner. This is the fucking, what is it, the bourgeoisie, the fucking, the elites, the fucking ultra wealthy going, it's not my fault you're poor. It's not my fault you're working class. It's your fault because I provide you with these extra complicated ways and then I give you enough to keep you busy that you can't take advantage of them. And then when you don't follow through and don't become successful, it's not my fault. It's your fault because you're lazy. You're a welfare queen. This is what has to stop in this country. You have to stop voting against your own interests. This idea, and you know, there's going to be some dipshit that's like, well, yeah, you just don't even know. Like, if you're smarter, you could do this. And they're going to be a year, 2 years from now, crying on the internet about how they can't afford groceries. And they'll never, ever put two and two together. They'll never, ever figure out that this was the plan the whole fucking time. To milk you until there is not a drop left in you, and then to toss you away and hope with all of their hearts, pray to whatever deity they believe in, that you die before you ever get to use a Social Security benefit. That's what they want from you. That's my rant. I have lower prices on day one. What's happening, Jamie? What's up, golf? What's up, guys? How's it going? Can I say it any clearer, guys? This is what I do for a living. This is like, you can shit on me for my political beliefs. You can shit on me for my education. There's a lot of things that you can claim that I don't know much about, and I will agree with you, and I have a lot to learn. There is one place that I feel completely confident speaking about, and that is the grocery industry. 20 years in the grocery industry. I can tell you this right now. This is not good for you. This isn't something that you should be for. This is something you should be fucking steadfast against. Force these fucking companies to pay their employees wages, give them benefits, give them retirement, force these fucking ultra wealthy grocery corporations to change their fucking price tags on time. You know what? You can put electronic price tags on the shelf. I don't give two shits about that. There should be regulation surrounding those electronic price tags. You should only be allowed to change those prices during off hours. Those prices can be changed before the store opens and after the store closes. Those prices should never change during the day unless it is to go down. It should be illegal to raise a price during the time that a person is shopping. And if you aren't for that, I don't know what the fuck to say to you. It's just crazy. Occasional grammar glitches. Yeah, you know it, Ross. You know it. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Let's watch some funny shit. What do we got? We got in the title Bill Burr, right? Yeah, we got Bill Burr in the title. So let's watch this video. Let's watch Bill Burr burying Ben Shapiro. Shapiro, guys. This man.
Yeah, you effing with some wet-ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word.
After I rant for a while there.
P-word. P-word is female genitalia.
Let's watch Bill Burr, my other angry ginger friend, do this. Yeah, gas has been on this model forever. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I said, regulation. Shit should just be regulated. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
As the state of California...
Whoops. Wrong button.
I'm such a Bill Burr fan that I actually bought a
That's a weird way to start this video.
ticket for me and my wife and two of our friends to go see Bill Burr at the Hard Rock Casino down here in Hollywood, Florida. And I have to say, it was one of the worst shows I ever saw in my life. Because he got up there, and Bill Burr has become woked.
Thanks,
He's
Jared.
become woked, I assume, because his wife...
Oh, no, guys. We've become woked. I don't even... What the fuck does that mean? Wouldn't you say Bill Burr has woke up? What is that not... Okay, Ross, help me out. Ross, would it not be he has woke up? I know I'm trailer park educated, but woke is not a word, is it?
And Bill Burr... And I have to say, it was one of the worst shows I ever saw in my life. Because he got up there, and Bill Burr has become woked. P-word. P-word is female genitalia. He has become woked, I assume, because his wife is very much on the left. Over time, I think he became embarrassed that many people on the right thought he was very funny. And so he decided that he was going to start woking it up.
He's going to start woking it up. Dude, I don't think any of these are words. Oh, shit. And Bill Burr, like, I've been to see Bill Burr in person. I watched Bill Burr make fun of Joe Biden. I thought it was funny. It was hilarious. And then when people started laughing really hard and they're like, yeah, fuck Biden, he was like, oh, no. Also, fuck Trump. He's a comedian. I watched Aries Spears today, and he had this this joke where he starts it with, you know, I'm not a Trump supporter, but he's like, there's no fucking way I'm a Trump supporter. But he goes, I'll tell you what, I got to give him some credit for something. And as soon as he says, I'm not a Trump supporter, this lady starts booing him, right? And he's like, what? Shut up. And she's like, she just keeps booing. He's like, shut up, bitch. He's like, what are you booing? This is a comedy show. And she keeps booing, and she's yelling that she's a Trump supporter. And he's like, no, I know you support Trump because you won't shut the fuck up. He's like, you're at a comedy show. And he says, do you fucking understand that? We're here to make jokes. Like, you are so fucking in love with this dude that you came to a comedy show, and I started to make a joke about the motherfucker, and you started crying. Like, that's the whole point. Like, when he was making fun of Joe Biden, I wasn't like, hey, do you know about the Infrastructure Act? Hey, Bill Burr. I know you're making fun of him for being old and perhaps having dementia, but did you know that that's probably not true? Because if we look at some of his speeches, it seems like he's not completely, you know, gone there. Did you think about that? Do you know about the Ships and Science Act? You know why I wouldn't do that? Because I'm at a show to laugh, and it's comedy, and it's okay for people to make fun of even people that you like. And that's why we know Trump fucking supporters are cultists.
Like that idiot Ben Shapiro. No, he's woke now. He's like, I don't. At one point, the guy liked me.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to look at that guy like he's an adult?
All right, so as you may know by now, Bill Burr recently made headlines after he called out the group of dude bro podcasters who platform corrupt politicians and world leaders without ever giving pushback.
Good
but
boy.
another huge call out in that interview that you might have missed was when Bill Burr addressed his ongoing beef with Ben Shapiro. And so I touched on this briefly in my initial video about that podcast, but I actually think it deserves more attention because after learning about the history of this beef, I quickly realized that this was probably the biggest moment of little Ben Shapiro's career.
Oh,
because,
shit.
believe it or not, at one point in time, little...
Look at him. Take one look at that, guys. It just says so much about this story. It tells you a lot about why Ben Shapiro is who he is. You know, I was watching the other day. You guys might not remember this, but Elon Musk cried during a interview with Barbara Walters. And it was like Barbara Walters was like, did you get bullied in school? And Elon was like, yes, really badly. And he's actually like crying. That's where the crying Elon meme comes from, right? And he talks about how he like got pushed down a set of stairs and he was hospitalized and how his father hated him and didn't love him. And, you know, I just look at that and I go, you know, hurt people, right? I think it's like our job. Like, I was abused as a child. My mom, my sisters, they're all abused as children. And, you know, I've always been the type of person that's like, you got to be the one that breaks the cycle, right? And it felt like in that interview that, you know, he was setting himself up for his villain arc. And to me, it's so crazy that somebody like fucking Ben Shabibo, like, what did he have hard in his life? What went wrong in Lil Shabibo's life that led him to be such a prick? I mean, like, did he get turned down? I know that he got told he couldn't be a scriptwriter, an actor, or something like that. Is that enough to cause you to be like join the fucking dark side? Just being told no?
Ben was actually Bill Burr's #1 fan. Like, he promoted Bill's special on his Twitter account in 2019.
Oh, no
calling
shit!
it shocking and audacious, and he even made it...
Oh, Lil Ben is sad. He feels betrayed. That's what it is. Okay, all right.
An entire YouTube video defending the comedian in 2021, titled "Leftists Outraged Over Bill Burr Jokes at the 2021 Grammys."
Bill Burr setting...
Redonk says, when he fucked up on the violin as a child, bad things happened. You're probably not wrong. Oh, Jesus.
And the thing was unwoke, because our cultural Puritans can never allow Bill Burr to make a joke about his own inability to pronounce Latino names. You can Latinx names.
So up until 7 months ago, Ben Shapiro thought that Bill Burr was on his team. You know, he thought Bill was one of these anti-woke mafia heroes such as himself. But then, in February of this year, Bill Burr vocalized his support for Luigi Mangione and criticized the evil practices of billionaire CEOs.
Yeah. The moment he's like, free Luigi, Ben Shapiro's fucking asshole puckered up. He's like, I don't like that. I don't like that. That means... I don't like that.
Free Luigi!
Yeah, there it is.
Which seemed to hurt little Ben's feelings. So much so that he made an hour-long podcast about Bill Burr, claiming that his stand-up's become weak, that he's become disconnected from his audience, and that he's turned into a woke a-hole ever since he married his current wife.
So, this brings us to Bill Burr.
And let me just say, I love Nia. Nia, I have that clip from her flipping off Donald Trump, giving Donald Trump both fingers at a UFC event. That shit is like, chef's kiss, dude. It's fucking amazing. I love his wife.
So I have to say, Bill Burr is So Bill Burr, I used to really enjoy his work.
What?
I mean, on occasion, I still enjoy his work. He's a comedian, which means he's very hit or miss. His Red Rock special, for example, hilarious. I used to be, I'm such a Bill Burr fan that I actually bought a ticket for me and my wife and two of our friends to go see Bill Burr at the Hard Rock Casino down here in Hollywood, Florida. And
just the way he tells the story is just like, you know, he's ending this in sadness. Like Jesus Christ, can you imagine, like, if you worked at Blockbuster? That's right, guys. That's how old I am. Okay. Can you imagine working at Blockbuster and you don't have the video Ben Shapiro wants to rent? You guys remember that shit? You guys are as old as me. When you'd be like, damn, that new movie came out. Fucking, I'm going to go down to Blockbuster. Let's get that shit. And you show up and there'd be that whole wall of the one movie because it was like the popular movie, right? Like, it was like Van Damme, Bloodsport 2, or some shit like that. You were like, oh, dude, this is going to be so good. It was Mission Impossible, like, 2, you know, because there's like 37 of them. Fast and the Furious, the original. You're like, dude, I'm going to get that movie. And you get there, and, you remember they'd have the fake video in front, and then you would get the real video from behind it, and you'd, like, be looking behind all the fake videos, and you're like, dude, that's fucking... Then you go up the front, right? You'd always go up to the front because you had hope. And you go up to the front and you'd be like, yo, you guys got any more Fast and the Furious videos? Maybe like somebody just brought one back. And like that like young stoner kid that was always working at Blockbuster that really could give two shits about whether or not you got Fast and Furious because he straight up took that shit home in the first day. Like, that dude would like do you a solid because he was a bro, and he'd be like, hold on, dude, I'm gonna go look in the drop box for you. And he'd go and he'd look and there'd be no video. Can you imagine coming back and that's Ben Shapiro? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, every story he tells sounds like he's about to tell you about the time he went to Blockbuster and he wasn't able to get Fast and the Furious. You know, every time I come in here, there's no videos, none of the good videos. You guys need to carry more videos. Like, that, obviously, the number of videos that you guys carry is never enough. And every time I come in here, I mean, this is a Tuesday. I'm in here on a Tuesday, and you guys don't have enough videos? Like, who does that? What do you mean that people didn't bring them back yet? Yeah. Then maybe you should have more. The fucking guy. Mitchell, you know what I'm talking about. Read on, you know what I'm talking about.
I have to say it was one of the worst shows I ever saw in my life because he got up there and Bill Burr has become woked.
Sorry, Schindler's List. Good job,
I assume because his wife is very much on the left. Over time.
Bro, just say it. Just say it, Ben. You know he wants to say it so bad because his wife is black. Black. Guys.
Oh, look at my African American over here. Look at him.
Black.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black.
Yeah. That's what Ben Shapiro's actually thinking.
I think he became embarrassed that many people on the right thought he was very funny, and so he decided that he was going to start woking it up. So this entire show that he did in Hollywood, Florida, it was so bad that he got frustrated with the audience. The audience was not laughing at his jokes because his jokes were basically about how Floridians were a bunch of anti-gay racists. And Floridians...
I mean... He's not wrong.
We're like, that's not true. There are a lot of gay people who live down here and a lot of Hispanics and black people who live down here.
I don't think he was talking about the gay people or the Hispanics or the black people, dude. I don't think that's who he was going for. Like, who the fuck goes into this hard, dude? It's like making fun of Florida, man. Like, that's like if you came to California and Bill Burr was like, fucking surfers, bro. I hate fucking California everywhere I go. All you fucking nuts are always smoking a bunch of fucking weed, and I try to get a fucking... I go into the fucking Blockbuster, you get a fucking video, and there's no fucking video because the fucking guy behind the fucking counter smoked a bunch of fucking weed, some fucking surfer dude that calls me bro all the fucking time, and they can't ever get a fucking Fast and the Furious video because it's always gone. Like, I wouldn't be like, well, actually, Bill, we don't all smoke weed in California. And also, Bill, just so you know, we also don't all surf either, Bill. Therefore, your joke is obviously not funny.
Here. And in fact, the room is filled with Jews. And so he actually got so frustrated, he ended up cutting his show early and walking off the stage. And the reason was he was totally disconnected from the audience. Well, that disconnect has continued. And now he is proclaiming that he is very happy that CEOs are walking around in fear for their lives.
What is going on?
In any case, here is Bill Burr openly cheering the murder of a United Health executive.
Let's fucking go!
Because he says CEOs should live in fear if they don't act in the way that he would have them act in a system that he has no fixes for, by the way.
I love that CEOs are afraid right now.
Well, first of all, I think you did have a fix there. Free Luigi.
Now, you should be. By and large, you're all a bunch of selfish, greedy pieces of shit. And a lot of you are mass murderers. You just don't pull the trigger. That's why it looks clean. Right? That's why these people look, oh, my God, oh, he was just, walking into a hotel. It's like, okay, but what was his job? What did he do? What was the results of it?
Yep. And you want to know something that, like, everybody should be concerned about right now that goes along with that is robo-taxis. We talked about this before. Like, if a robo-taxi crosses over into an oncoming traffic and kills a family of people, who's going to be held accountable for that? Like, what type of repercussions does that company face? It's going to be financial, because that's how they do with these people. They don't care if you kill people if you have enough money. Now, if you happen to be a 19-year-old that glances down at your stereo for half a second and veers into oncoming traffic and kills somebody, you go to prison. And it doesn't matter if you were good your entire life. It doesn't matter if just it was one moment where you made a mistake. If you do that, you are going to prison for manslaughter. That is the way it works. But we are currently, when he says this about the healthcare industry, that they just push a button and people die. Like, this idea that if you are rich enough, if you are wealthy enough to be disconnected far enough from your crime, then you can get away with it. Like, if Elon Musk pays money to create a product and then that product is put out too soon and it kills people, then is he not guilty of manslaughter? If me or you did that, if you just said, I'm going to put my car into self-driving mode and let it drive out onto the street, and it went into traffic and it killed somebody, I guarantee you would go to prison.
Okay, Bill Burr is a piece of... Okay, well, what he's saying here is so truly evil.
And what's so satisfying about this podcast was the golden irony of Shapiro stating that Bill Burr was disconnected from his audience. Because if you slowly scroll down, you'll quickly see that his video was ratioed into the ground with dislikes. And pretty much everyone in the comment section let Ben know just how idiotic he sounded. And it seemed that they all came to the conclusion that Ben Shapiro would get on all fours and bark like a dog if a billionaire CEO told him to. I mean, absolutely no one agreed with what Ben was saying there. So this podcast was a overall pathetic attempt to rile up some kind of beef with Bill Burr, I guess. But the fact that Shapiro's own audience found this take to be brain dead says just...
Redonk, is that you? Redonk, is that you?
About everything you need to know about the guy. And that was pretty much the end of the story. Until Bill Burr responded a few weeks later, saying, I don't know who he is, but that guy is a jerk-off. Which, of course, goes without saying, but it's still a perfect way to sum it all up. After that response, though, of course, there was radio silence from Burr. Since, according to Bill Burr, this whole feud that Shapiro was trying to drum up with him was completely driven by money. And then Shapiro just continued making negative videos about him and his wife, sandwiched in between ads for ExpressVPN, The Daily Wire, you name it. The whole thing was a grift. So Bill Burr wisely took the higher road, until a few weeks ago, when he was sort of put on the spot about the whole Ben Shapiro thing after the interviewer asked him directly about the situation. So to put the final nail in the coffin, Bill Burr aired out everything that he's bottled up over the last 7 months, exposing Shapiro for being a greasy slick talker who's cultivated this toxic fanbase of chronically online extremists who have also been harassing Bill and his wife for the last 7 months.
Summarize for people who have been watching your career so closely. In this last few months, you've had a few things happen, which is Ben Shapiro talked about going to one of your shows and complaining about you becoming woke, which sort of then created this.
He doesn't even know what that word means.
Let me stop.
His definition of woke is white liberals' definition of woke, and they didn't even know what it was. They just took the word from black people. That's the worst thing about our people is not only do we take from other cultures, we don't even take the time to understand the definition.
Yeah.
He went...
I've always said, when people say white people don't have culture, white people are like, yeah, we do. We have your culture. That was the whole point of all the fucking colonizing. Like, you think we know how to dance without y'all?
There to be annoyed so he can then have something to talk about, and then he can make money off of dividing his own country.
Yeah.
Those people, it's treasonous what they do.
Yes, but to be fair, or not to be fair, to the fact is that it worked for what his goal is, which is then it became a thing online where then a certain portion of the right complain about how you're woke.
Yeah, this is why I fucking hate society. It's the monetization of this shit, dude. It's like you're going to have a person like Ben Shapiro that is intelligent enough to understand audience capture. And then that person is going to take something that goes back millennia, and that is, okay, not millennia, goes back decades, and that is the term, if it bleeds, it leads. Like, people are not smart enough to recognize that even if Ben Shapiro isn't like 100% on the side of something, if he knows that it's going to generate him profit, and it's going to appeal to his audience capture, he's going to say it or do it, and he doesn't care about how it harms society. He doesn't give two shits if it makes the world worse for you, because he's above the water. He's always going to be above the water, and so as long as he keeps his stack of money growing to a point that's proportionate with the rising of the water, he can always do this fucked up shit. Other people can always do this fucked up shit. I pointed out about what I hate about the left, about left-wing content creation, is how much left-wing content creation is literally based on just talking shit about other left-wing content creators. And I asked a content creator once in a chat, I go, why is that a thing? Why do left-wing content creators spend so much time talking shit about each other when they should be focusing on doing something actually beneficial for the country? And that person responded with, for clicks and views, because it generates money. Like, this is a societal problem, not a left-wing, right-wing problem. But, I think Ben Shapiro kind of symbolizes the type of person that could use it in the worst possible way. Somebody smart enough to understand audience capture, somebody smart enough to find the things that could be the most bombastic or hyperbolic, and to use them to generate profit for themselves.
Racists.
And more racist.
They're racist. Yeah, they send pictures of monkeys to me and my wife. They're fucking horrible people, and they're cowards, and they never say it to your face.
Yeah.
They never do that. And no, they're like, look, dude, there's an ugliness that's out there right now where, there's certain podcasts.
Okay, first of all, Ben Shapiro would totally say it to your face from a podium 12 feet away from you. And so anyways, he's woke, and I'm going to tell you why he's woke.
Out there that if you're a racist, if you're an anti-Semite, if you're a psycho-nationalist and you want a softball interview, there's podcasts out there where you can, and they will laugh at your fucking...
Andrew Schultz, Joe Rogan. I don't know that Tony Hinchcliffe could be considered a podcast. Theo Vaughn. Sadly fucking enough, Theo Vaughn. There's people that go on Theo Vaughn's show that I think are fucking great people, like Gabor Mate, Bernie Sanders. But, yeah, he's 100% on point with that. Because, once again, because they don't care what the impact to society is. They know bringing on this person onto their fucking podcast show and generating fucking vitriol and hate and fear and anger is going to make them money, and as long as they keep themselves above the waterline, they don't fucking care what they do to society.
Bad jokes and just give you this pass, and it's like, there's a really ugly thing that's going on out there, and it's the kind of things we've already seen this, and we've seen what it does to a nation, and it's not the way to go.
And real quick here,
Nah,
I just love that Bill spoke about how these guys hijacked the word woke and gave it an entirely new and negative meaning. Because what Bill Burr said was true. Like, people throw it around as an insult nowadays, but it wasn't ever supposed to take on that meaning. Yep. Bill saying that also shows you how Shapiro obviously just panders to his crowd and their buzzword of the day.
Bro, cut off that mustache though, dog. What is that? What is that, dude? Oh no. Oh no. My dude. Holy shit. Imagine this, guys. It's 8:30, you know, about 30 minutes before Ben Shapiro's bedtime, and he gives you that look. Ben just knocked back some fucking vodka, or sorry, some peppermint schnapps. He looks like a peppermint schnapps guy. Ben Shapiro just knocked back his third peppermint schnapps. He's feeling pretty randy. You're sitting across the table from me. He just told you all about why he hates Bill Burr. Told you all about why Donald Trump really isn't that bad of a guy, even though he does some stuff that he doesn't like. And then he gives you that look right there with that mustache.
Yeah, you effing, with some wet-ass P-word, bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word.
That's the look, guys!
As Shapiro is just in it for money, which Bill wants zero part of. Later in this interview, Bill Burr details how silly it was of Ben to have him as his favorite comedian just because one of his jokes aligned with his worldview, just to then completely flip-flop on him as soon as he made fun of something against that view. It was very childlike, which Bill summarizes in a perfect way.
What I'm finding is that people keep trying to categorize what it is that you're doing. Like that idiot Ben Shapiro. No, he's woke now. He's like, I don't. That fucking guy. Someone came to me and goes, "Hey man, you should." He was trying to bring me into his fold. At one point, the guy liked me.
Yeah.
You know. And then when I didn't,
dude, he's the crazy ex-girlfriend, or not even ex-girlfriend. He's no. My bad. He's the dude that got turned down by the girl. He's the guy, Ben Shapiro's the guy that was like, I'm pretty wealthy. I'm actually, like, well-known. A lot of people like me. Why don't you let Bill Burr know that I would accept him being on my show? And then somebody came back and they were like, Bill Burr said no thank you. And he was like, he did what? Fuck him.
Then all of a sudden, I'm a fucking asshole. I mean, I'm supposed to look at that guy like he's an adult?
And you see, Bill Burr wasn't just assuming here that Shapiro was a fan of his at one point in time. Because as I mentioned at the start of this video, Shapiro actually defended Bill Burr for making jokes about Latinos at the 2021 Grammy Awards.
I will accept on behalf of her. If I butchered her name, I'm sorry. All right. Hey, how many feminists are like going nuts? So why is this white male doing all this Latino stuff?
Okay, and people on the woke left were like, it's true. Why is that white male doing all this Latino stuff? And then comment.
Dude, he looks so happy. Look at him. He's like, I'm fucking coming right now. Like, it's all over my pants. Like, it's so funny how people get this wrong. And also, now after, like, the fucking Sydney Sweeney jeans lies and shit like that, now I want a fucking study done on how many liberals actually were upset about Bill Burr's. And I'm not saying there aren't any, because I've ran into some left-wing people that come on this channel that get mad at me about shit I say, right? Maybe those people are fucking right-wing trolls. I don't know. They seem like they're pretty passionate about their opinion of my opinions. But after this whole, like, fucking thing with the Sydney Sweeney thing, where, like, literally liberals are like, we don't really fucking care. And Charlie Kirk's like, they care. They care so much. This is really, they're getting so mad. They found out she's a Republican. They're super pissed. And then they did that fucking study. And they're like, actually, like, Charlie Kirk and right-wing people are the only people talking about this. Like, I need a study done on this moment.
On it. How dare he laughing about butchering people's names? How dare he? Right, this is where the Puritanism comes out. Because our cultural Puritans can never allow Bill Burr to make a joke about his own inability to pronounce Latino names. You can never, Latinx names, right? You can never make a joke.
That's another thing. Like, I have never had a person get mad at me for not saying Latinx. Like, never. And I know a lot of Latino people. Like, I never said it because no one, like, look, I have people in my life that are non-binary, right? Those people will say, like, I prefer they, them. Like, okay, I'll do my best to make sure that I honor your request, right? Like, just know that if I ever fuck up, I'm not being malicious, right? So, like, I know there's people that go around saying that they choose to be they, them. And I don't have a fucking problem with it. The way I look at it is, if somebody asks me to do something or say something that is outside of my normal behavior, I look at it as a challenge. I'm like, I wonder if I can do that correctly. I wonder if I can change my vocabulary. I wonder if I can do these things. Because intellectually, I like to feel adept. I like to feel nimble. I like to be challenged. I've never once had a person ask me to be called Latinx. This is once again one of these things where it's like, I'm sure somebody did. I'm sure this might have even been the beginning of a movement, but it doesn't seem to have taken hold in any like crazy manner. Once again, it's not like the woke ideology is just taking over the world and everybody is fucking becoming just so crazy about these things. Like, you know, I like one of Bill Burr's jokes where Bill Burr talks about, you know, that when cancel culture first happened, Bill Burr said some people on the left became Darth Sidious. And that was true. There were certain people that were like, fuck yeah, we're going to fucking get this. We're going to fucking take people down. Fuck you. You can never fucking make another fucking movie again. Mind you, boycotting movies and boycotting actors and boycotting businesses existed long before, even before woke culture, even the African-American version of woke culture. Like, boycotting has existed, well, since businesses have existed. I'm sure back in like 800 AD, somebody was like, fuck Rodney. Rodney's got a bad opinion about my wife. I'm not going to his store anymore, and you shouldn't either. He's an asshole. But, you know, like, that's one of the jokes that I thought was fucking hilarious because it was true at times. But it wasn't this widespread craziness that people make it out to be. Like, people during the Me Too movement, there was a lot of motherfuckers that got called out for the bad shit that they did. A lot of motherfuckers. And 99% of that shit probably was true. And then these fucking people will find the one time that a person used the Me Too movement in a evil and malicious manner, because it is evil and malicious to accuse somebody of something that he didn't do. And they're like, see, this is why we should never say that men abuse women. And it's like, fuck if we aren't. Y'all found one chick that did that shit, and you're like, so we should stop calling out fucking Harvey Weinstein? Like, you can fuck right off with that.
About that is witch burning stuff, right? He must be.
Sounds like a rapper.
Bill Burr is a bad man because he is cis and he is white, where the H comes before the W. White, right? He is a very, very bad man. But you know what is great for our culture? What is great for our culture is Harry Styles wore a boa.
But as soon as Bill Burr said stuff that Shapiro didn't really like, all of a
sudden
Bill's now apparently a lazy hack who tarnished his career after marrying his wife. And then, of course, after that call out, Ben Shapiro...
Dude, how bad does it have to be on the conservative side and then you're blaming some dude's wife? Like, that's like the most fucking misogynistic shit you can possibly fucking say. Like, you're like, you know, you used to be cool, but then you got a wife, bro. I don't let my wife tell me what to do. I don't let my wife hasn't changed me at all. I'm still the asshole I was at 25. Okay. Weird flex, but okay.
Responded literally the morning after that podcast.
He's such a fucking whiner.
You just know he was jumping with joy as soon as he learned about it. And what went down in the studio that day was quite possibly the most desperate, lazy, cringe-inducing attempt at a clapback that I've ever witnessed in my life. Like, you could tell that he really wanted to savagely roast Bill Burr, maybe thinking the two of them would have it back and forth like...
Yeah, he's about to say it. He was hoping to have the Ben Shapiro destroys Bill Burr video.
Like he always dreamed about. But after watching this, you're going to see that A, he was very clearly reading a script off his teleprompter, seemingly for the first time, and B, the entire script was generated by AI. I'm going to touch on that more after this clip plays, but I'm 99% sure that he used AI to write this shitty little roast he made for Burr. There's just a lot of dead giveaways in it that you'd clue in on immediately if you're familiar with the way that ChatGPT writes. But more on that later.
Oh, no.
Okay, so now Bill Burr would presumably call that Bill Burr insensitive and unresponsive to the needs and definitions of black people. Which, all of this is amazing, guys, because Bill Burr is whiter than a painting of a polar bear in snow on a white canvas.
What the fuck did he just say? Dude, did he think that was funny? Bro, I like it when people roast gingers. Like, the sun. The sun roasts us all the time. I like it when people roast gingers, man. Like, that was your roast? That was, like, my dude. Like, you should talk to some black people. Black dudes always had the best ginger roasts. He should have, if he had any black friends at all, they would have told him not to go with that one. That's how I know he doesn't have any black friends.
So he's actually the most annoying form of a woke person. A white lib, the kind he likes to criticize. The white person who apologizes for being white by pretending that he can speak on behalf of black people about the systemic privileges of being white. Oh yeah, while pulling down millions of dollars to be an angry thumb of a human. So, bald Rumpelstiltskin over here, who gets mad when you call him by his real name.
Dude, you're bombing. You're bombing. You need, like, a sign for this. Like, you're bombing.
Still pissed off. I didn't enjoy his comedy show last year, and he thinks that I and my friends and my wife, we all paid to attend his show just so that I could criticize him. No, here's the thing. On a random weekday night, if I'm going to a comedy show, I'm going because I want to laugh. We paid to attend your show because you used to be funny. And then you transed yourself and turned into a white, bald, allegedly male version of Sonny Hassan on The View, screeching at me.
Did he just say he transed himself? Did he really just say he transed himself? This is fucking... It is. It's embarrassing. Jesus Christ, this might be ChatGPT.
About income inequality and racism. There is some irony to the fact that as you lost your nuts, you morphed into a shriveled nutsack.
Yeah, it's the tone. It's the timing. It's not it doesn't feel like it feels contrived. It doesn't feel real, right? Like if you called Bill Burr a shriveled nutsack, I would probably usually laugh at that. But it's like the cadence. That's what I'm going for. It's his cadence. The cadence isn't. It isn't like even he thinks it's funny. It's either that this is ChatGPT and he's just reading this, or it's that he actually is just mad, right? Like, it could be that he's just mad and he's not like attempting to make it funny, because none of it doesn't come off as funny. The cadence is completely off.
Of a human. And now you've decided that you're a victim, and that everyone you know is a victim, and that America is cruel and nasty and such, and you're deliberately misunderstood just because you won't put on a great show anymore, which makes me sad, because I enjoyed watching Bill Burr. But now,
see, that doesn't feel real. Like, doesn't feel real. It doesn't. The intonation doesn't feel real.
Now watching you is like watching Robin DiAngelo, but even whiter and even faker and less funny, and with a screechy Boston accent to boot. You turn into Billy, the piss-drunk woke leprechaun. Good luck with that, my dude. Listen, I hope you turn it around.
Good luck with that, my dude. Like, it doesn't sound fucking... It literally just sounds like he's just, like, reading off of... I mean, and I know he's reading off of fucking script, because this guy 100% could not, like, freestyle roast fucking Bill Burr, right? Which is what he should have done. I mean, if you really wanted to shit on Bill Burr, you would just fucking go off. You would talk mad shit about dude. Like, you wouldn't sit here and write out, like, imagine being that much of a fucking cuck to sit there and type out this. Even if it wasn't ChatGPT, even if this motherfucker wrote it himself, imagine being that much of a fucking cuck to sit there and type this shit out all mad and be like, yeah, I'm gonna roast this motherfucker. Oh, this is gonna be amazing. Oh, you have no idea. And then get on camera and with zero fucking emotion, just read it off a script. Like, what the fuck?
Really do, because the world needs better comedians. And I like a lot of comedians who disagree with me. Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, exactly, Ross.
But,
like Kyle,
you know,
yeah.
we don't need 57-year-old men trying to earn street cred with the fellow kids by turning into a human embodiment of those in this house lawn signs. That makes me sad. It does. And yeah, you're being a woke jackass.
That makes me sad. Yeah, it does.
You cannot tell me that that entire thing
horrific.
wasn't written with ChatGPT. And even if it wasn't, it's seriously some embarrassing stuff to be putting out to hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, come on, little Benjamin. This was truly the biggest moment of your career. Like, Bill Burr never calls out anyone by name anymore. He didn't even mention Joe Rogan's name in that interview. Like, the last time this happened was when he called out Elon Musk, and that was huge. So just a little more effort would have at least been respectable. But yeah, guys. Sadly enough, this call out by Burr was the highlight of Ben Shapiro's miserable career, because that pretty much wraps up the Shapiro versus Burr saga for the rest of eternity, as Bill Burr is likely done with this mosquito that is Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, you would think so.
With that being said, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching.
Free Luigi!
California.
What was that? I mean, like, what the fuck am I supposed to even say about that? Yeah, what Dan said. Ben is the judge of street cred. You know, I said a long time ago, I was like, it's such a weird fucking, like, ironic thing to have people like Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson and all these guys talking about, like, alpha masculinity. Like, it's like, unless Jordan Peterson can talk a person to death by going in circles about what a word means, you ain't surviving on the streets, dog. Like, fucking Ben Shapiro's gonna be somebody's bitch, dude. Like, you are literally what would be called a mark, a target. Like, they would have your ass in some booty shorts walking the fucking street, dog. Like, it is so weird to have people like Jesse Waters, Ben Shapiro, Ted Cruz, Jordan Peterson, and they're like, fucking alpha males. America has lost its masculinity. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe all of these guys are, like, actually mad that they could have been born with more testosterone. Like, that could be what it is. I think we might have just figured something out. I think that the reason that these guys are so representative of conservative culture and they're so angry about the loss of the alpha male figure in American society, it's because they're just upset that they ended up being such little bitches. I think that actually might be it. I think I might have just figured it out, guys. Oh, yeah, I watched the Elephant Graveyard, Manny. I watched the one on the Austin comedy scene. I just watched it. That motherfucker, that dude has such dry, sarcastic humor that people will walk into the office while I'm watching that shit, and they think it's like a real documentary, as in, like, they think the shit he's saying, he's totally serious. There's a part in the video where Rogan's talking about the simulacrum. And then the dude says simulacrum like 75 times over the next like 6 sentences. And I'm like, I have to explain to people, I'm like, he's making fun of the fact because he's got such dry senses of humor. Jesus. All right, let's watch. What else is in the name of this stream today? Yeah, the Elephant Graveyard video. Redunk, that's the one I watched. On the Austin comedy scene. That's the one I just watched. Not the one, I watched the Elephant Graveyard video on Rogan's last special, Burn the Boats. That's kind of, I think that's where most people found him. But I just watched one, I think it just came out maybe a few days ago, from the Elephant Graveyard on just the Austin comedy scene. It's deep as fuck. Yeah, it was deep as fuck. I agree, Manny. It's deep as fuck in a weird way. Because it's very, like, on point about what it's talking about, but the dude's, like, sense of humor is so fucking dry and sarcastic that you're like, when he's talking about the big black dude that does the Kill Tony shit, and then when he does crowd work, right? When he's talking about that dude, I was like, and he's like, he is my beacon of the heights of comedy. And the dude goes, you know, when I'm doing comedy, I want people to be thinking about what I said on the way home. And I'm like, bro, I've watched your comedy. Like, all you do is talk shit to people in the crowd. Like, you ain't George Carlin, dog. And there ain't nothing wrong with that even. Like, it's fine to be like a crowd work comedian. It's kind of like, you know, like Marin was saying, it's kind of a little bit lazy. That's like what everybody's doing nowadays. But it was like, your shit ain't deep. I heard you tell some chick that you would slap her in the mouth if she didn't shut up. Like, the fuck? This is not even funny. Although he did tell one chick she looked like the sloth from Ice Age, and I was like, that's pretty good. That was pretty good. But I didn't know. I was like, is he being serious? David Lucas. Yeah, that's his name. Thank you. Yeah, David Lucas. Thank you. All right, here, we got to get these ones in because I did put them in the name of the video, so we gotta watch these ones. This is The Good Liars. And this is Washington, D.C. militarized zone. And I was like, I've got to see this shit. I got to see these guys. This is so surreal. It's so weird that this is going on. So let's watch these guys.
We are here in Washington, D.C., where just over 4.5 years ago, on January 6th, Donald Trump said he definitely did not have the authority to call in the National Guard. Now, I guess things have changed because there's just so much National Guard here. So I'm wondering if he might have been lying about that.
No, Donald Trump doesn't lie. You're going to hurt his supporters' feelings by saying stuff like that.
Oh, well.
Trump's federal policing efforts in the district are growing. Hundreds of National Guard troops from West Virginia, Ohio, and South Carolina will be deployed here to D.C.
It is hot as hell here in Washington, D.C. I have sweat dripping down my body, gathering around one of my nipples.
Oh, no.
Think.
I shouldn't have paused it there. I'm sorry.
Been in this since 1988. Riding my bike since I was a kid, literally. Nothing happens around here. How are you going to have...
He said literally nothing happens around here. But that's the point. I told you guys, this is District 9 shit. They want you out of their sight. I really don't know why people haven't caught on to this yet. The federal troops... Okay, so if you have a city that is filled with crime, guys, let me ask you this question. If you're in Chicago, and Chicago is filled with crime, where would you send federal troops? Or here's an even better one, because we all know this. This is one that every person should know. If you're in Los Angeles and there was crime, and it was bad crime, where would you send your police officers, your federal agents, to stop said crimes from happening? Would you send them to Hollywood? Beverly Hills, maybe? Would you send them to Beverly Hills? Or would you send them to Compton? You would send them to fucking Compton! Crenshaw! Fucking... There would be federal agents fucking disturbing East Side Crips as we speak. They're not there! They're not there to stop crime. They are there to scare people away from the rich parts of the city. This man is obviously too brown to be there. Yeah, Malibu, of course. You don't fucking... This man needs to be told that those people are literally there to keep his ass away from the rich people. Like, I am only half joking, guys. This is fucking District 9. They want to fucking keep brown people, black people, and poor white people who are easily identifiable by the poor quality of their clothes and the dirt in which cannot be washed off, obviously. Okay? I'm a poor white person. I know. That's what it's for. they're trying to maintain a perimeter by bringing in fucking National Guard members from like 5 other states to push all the fucking, not just poor people, by the way, not just poor people, middle class people, lower middle class people, poor people, the working class into fucking ghettos, because they're like, that's where you belong, where we can't see you, so that way we can walk around freely with our Louis Vuitton bags without having to worry about you dirty people touching us. I've said it before. Trump doesn't like you, fucking MAGA. He hates you. He doesn't like you. He doesn't want you on his lawn. He thinks you smell like shit. He's the type of dude that fucking keeps a handkerchief over his nose while he shakes your hand. He's holding his breath.
Have these soldiers.
My nipples, I think.
Oh, sorry. Since 1988. Riding my bike since I was a kid, literally. Nothing happens around here. How are you going to have these soldiers? They're tourists around here. Who's around? Who are they protecting?
On January 6th, Donald Trump said he couldn't call the National Guard in. Now they're here. Why do you think that is?
Well, if the sentence begins with Trump said, you lost me.
You think he's the reason the National Guard are in D.C. right now?
100%. It's all a scam. It's a made-up crisis. There's no crime here. The crime is you might pair Chardonnay with a red piece of meat. That's the crime. They're in Georgetown. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah. Ugh. Sorry, I got a little sick thinking about that.
Right. You know, D.C. crime is not that bad. When I used to live back in the day, it was so bad. I always tell everyone, we took 20 steps forward. During COVID, we took a few steps back. We took 5 steps back. But at the end of the day, we're still 15 steps ahead.
We are here.
How dare you try to speak logically to this situation, sir? This is not a time for logic. This is a time for fear and anger and hatred. You're supposed to just be mad that there's people that are out there that if you one day happen to run into them, may beat up pickleballs, okay? Not you, sir, because you look like a good gentleman that probably doesn't, like, start fights with 15-year-olds on the street. But, like, I mean, we need to protect pickleballs, guys. We need the National Guard from 4 to 5 other states to come in so that way pickleballs can go on a date with his girlfriend, which, by the way, you guys, I just want to point out something. I'm going to point out something for you guys, and I want you guys to infer whatever you would like. They claimed that his girlfriend was there with him, yet the only person that was there to take pictures of pickleballs after taking his beating was another man, in fact, another Doge member, the one that was fired for making racist tweets. I'm willing to bet, guys, that his girlfriend was another dude. I'm just throwing it out there. And like I said before, look, guys, I don't have any problem with that. I'm just saying, once again, stop being so mean and doing these fucked up things to your own people. Like, just come out the closet, pickleballs. It's okay. Let Elias or whatever the fuck that kid's name, let him fucking play with them, dog. It's okay. Nobody cares.
In Washington, D.C., you guys look like locals. Are you all locals? Everyone looks like locals here.
Look at all these gang members. They're all wearing the same fucking helmet, dude. Someone needs to talk to these guys. These guys are definitely going to steal your wallet.
All right. Okay. No, not a local? Well, you guys aren't local?
No, I wasn't wearing the same helmet.
Locals? Not locals? No? All right. Okay.
Exactly, Manny.
I
know what I'm
maybe
saying.
That was like a DC thing. Everyone wears the yellow helmet, gets on a bike and drives around together. I didn't know if it was maybe a bicycle gang. Maybe that's why the National Guard are here.
Dude, these are the fucking people that were like, they're wasting our taxpayer money. Where are you guys at now? Where are all the Trump supporters that were like, they're wasting our money? Ah! Waste, fraud, and corruption! Where the fuck are you guys? Can one of you make a fucking appearance and just say that you see the fucking hypocrisy in this shit so I don't feel like I'm completely fucking nuts? Jesus Christ. What's happening, Robert? Allegedly.
What do you think about the National Guard, the ICE checkpoints, the police across the city right now?
Unnecessary.
Why do you think it's unnecessary?
When was the last time you heard about a crime here at Lincoln Memorial?
And as those heavily armed troops patrol a variety of locations across D.C., the White House saying the move is not...
There's fucking Humvees, dude. Like, they're doing more damage to the fucking streets. We are seriously living in the stupidest fucking timeline that has ever fucking existed.
Meant to scare away tourists.
DC allegedly. That is shit to me today. It's a Sunday. I mean, I know it's hot, it's super hot, but you know, usually around here, there's so many people. People are not going to come here anymore. You know, when there's ICE checkpoints and there's military walking, people.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. People aren't going to come here anymore if there's ICE checkpoints. It's the same reason that they sent ICE to Gavin Newsom's recent press conference. They don't think that Gavin Newsom's going to be afraid of ICE. They think that brown and black people are going to be afraid of ICE. And they don't want it to look like he has any support at all because that ruins their narrative. This is the whole fucking point.
We're just like freaked out. Like, you know what? Forget it. They're not going to come here.
I hope tourists still come here.
Okay. Do you think that all the militarization could scare away tourists a little bit?
Take a look around you. Depend on tourism here.
Yeah.
Bro, you can't convince me that these motherfuckers aren't trying to burn this country to the ground. Like, I've said this before, I don't think Trump is, because I think that Trump is not smart enough to figure out a plan to burn the country to the ground. I think he could just do it out of just like sheer stupidity. I think that Trump thinks that, like, man, he's saving us from the fucking woke mobs, brother. These people have put a cape on my back, and I tell you this right now, as long as I get about $3 billion in Trump meme coins coming through, I am going to do that job with gusto. But you can't convince me, like, that Stephen Miller, Curtis Yarvin, Peter Thiel, Bezos, Musk, the rest of these fucking billionaire oligarchs, like, you can't convince me that they are sitting back watching Donald Trump's stupidity going like, this is good for America. Elon Musk fucking said, like, we're going into a deficit, and we should all be super fucking scared, and we should be worried because this is just going to just destroy the country for future generations. And we just added like $5 trillion to the debt. You can't convince me that these motherfuckers aren't looking at that and being like, that's exactly what we wanted to happen. And the whole time Donald Trump's like, am I doing a good job? And they're like, yes, you are, brother. You are killing it, dog. Keep sending them Humvees down to DuPont Circle.
I feel bad for those people in all this military gear. What are they doing here?
I don't know. It looks like they're standing around talking. I saw some of them laughing a little bit. One of them was sitting in the car to get some air conditioning because it's hot. And then another guy went into one of the cars, and then I think one of them went to Dunkin' Donuts.
You know, they worry about how much all the money that the government's spending. This is a complete waste of money.
Exactly.
And it only serves, you know, Donald Trump.
How much money do you think they're wasting right now?
I have no idea.
We are seeing a high...
Like, the soldiers aren't even watching shit, guys. They weren't even fucking watching anything. They're literally standing in a circle, like, kicking the ground.
Heightened presence of immigration officials in the district. Our cameras captured the moment federal authorities arrested a delivery driver this morning.
That's what I was gonna say. They're like, we got the DoorDash drivers. They're fucking ruining shit for you and me. Like, we have very little to be fucking excited about down here in the fucking middle class, in the working class. The one thing that we can get excited about every fucking once in a while is that I don't have to get up and deal with traffic to get a sandwich. Like, you're living in D.C., and you're like, the one fucking thing that makes me happy is that on occasion, I can pay an exorbitant amount of money to have a dude get on a fucking scooter and drive a sandwich to my house. And now they're fucking stopping that. ICE is literally fucking arresting Julio. Your fucking sandwich that you've already paid for is on the back of his fucking scooter, and they're taking him to a fucking detention center. This is why dudes deserve to get hit with sandwiches. Like, you can't have fucking anything nice.
They are harassing people. Crime is at a 30-year low in Washington, D.C. right now. It's racism with the immigration. That's all.
Bro, this is an old white man. I say old. I'm sorry, sir. I mean, you're my age. This is an old white man. We are known to talk about crime in a way that is super hyperbolic. All right? Like, if you find yourself an old white man and you ask him about crime statistics, he's going to exaggerate. Okay? That's part of just being an old white man. Things aren't what they used to be. You know, back in my day, if someone did something like that, they got punished. You know what's happening nowadays? People are they're allowed to murder people on the streets and they get to walk away scot-free. Back in my generation, before these kids and their TikToks, like, you have an old white man literally sitting here being like, actually, I just don't even understand why people are doing this. There's like, things are good. Like, I really don't get it. You know shit's fucked up.
All it is. Everybody knows that. Trump is a very insecure man, and he's overcompensating. This is nothing about security or safety.
What would you say to someone who's thinking of signing up to be an ICE agent?
It's like SS. What is those?
Yeah,
in
fucking
the 30s,
Gestapo,
guys,
SS.
They're doing it for a job too. Yep. Next thing you know, they're doing some other crazy stuff that, you know, it starts out with, you know, pulling people over and asking for their ID, and God knows where it's going to end.
You feel there's some authoritarianism going on right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah, every American should be against this. Every American should be against this. This is a disgrace.
To the ICE agents at the checkpoints who are here in D.C., what would you want them to know?
I want them to know that we understand that you're doing your job, but at some point you're going to have to look at yourself in the mirror.
Yep.
On January 6, 2021, people broke through those barricades and went into the Capitol, which feels a lot more dangerous than it does here today.
Nah, dude, they were tourists, bro. Like, you're totally fucking this up, man. They were totally peaceful. There's definitely no violence on January 6th. There definitely does not exist hours and hours of footage of these people, you know, beating cops with flagpoles and spraying them with mace. And there definitely wasn't a bunch of pedos that later got pardoned by Donald Trump. That definitely didn't happen. What? That all happened? No. My bad.
But for some reason today, there's a bunch of National Guard.
Manny!
So go figure me that.
Big Ball Smollett!
Wherever you say that.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know what the latest is, but they're filing charges against this poor guy, and he got good job, Robert. Because you threw a sandwich. Meanwhile, he's hiring people out of the January 6th to run the government now. You tell, and he pardoned all of them. Never gonna not laugh at that. You know, these guys that beat up that guy, that one guy, one of these guys. I don't even know what his name is, but he was like literally telling, the chanting to the crowd to beat up that one police officer. And now you got a job somewhere in the government.
On January 6th, someone threw a fire extinguisher at a police officer. Which one's worse?
Fire extinguisher.
Yeah, worse than a Subway sandwich?
Yes. You think so? Oh, shit, dude.
Maxine, what do you think about the military being unleashed across Washington, D.C.? Do you think Donald Trump is the reason that they are here right now?
Well, obviously.
Why do you think he said on January 6th, 2021, that he wasn't allowed to call them in, that was Nancy Pelosi's job?
You got me there. It's a good question.
Dude, Robert, really what it comes down to is what type of sandwich was it? Was it a hot sandwich? You know, there is an argument to be made if that was a fresh hot sandwich, as it says on the sign, okay? Fresh hot sandwich, and that happened to be, let's say, a meatball with mozzarella, okay? That sauce, when that sauce hits you, if that had splattered onto that ICE agent's face, it easily could have been third-degree burns, okay? You get you some smelty cheese with red sauce that had just been heated up, and that lands on your face. Like, you're talking redness, you're talking irritation. Like, I'm just saying, there was a chance that sandwich could have been hot and fresh. Okay?
Okay. Well, do you have any idea? He wasn't allowed to call them in, that was Nancy Pelosi's job.
You got me there. It's a good question.
It's a good question.
Okay. Well, do you have any ideas as to why?
Well, it would have been useful they were called out on January 6th, obviously.
But do you know why he would say one thing and then say another later?
Because he's a liar?
You know, that's the way he does things.
That's the way he does things.
Lies or whatever.
What do you want to call it?
Yeah. What would you call it?
Robert, if it's for Italian,
anything you'd want to say in parting? I mean, I know we've had a good time.
Robert, if it's if it was an Italian sub, did they deport it? I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I shouldn't have did that. That's my bad, guys. That's my bad.
I'm here, you and I.
Nothing, just enjoy the city.
Yeah.
I hope tourists still come here.
Oh, we are so cooked. Like, how do you defeat this amount of stupidity? I just feel like this is like, what is the fucking game plan, guys? It was a club sandwich, Pamela. Pamela? Like, I don't think there's a fucking playbook for defeating this kind of stupidity. I just genuinely don't. Like, what are you supposed to do against this level of fucking culty behavior? Dude, he should be Ross. He could be the new Subway spokesperson. Like, that's not a great job, though. Okay, nobody wants to be associated with Jared. Hopefully his name is... I think his name's Jeremy, too. That might be a problem. Supporting the spicy Italian mix is a diabolical work. Yes. Yes. Yes, it is. It wasn't a foot long? You sure about that? It's a Subway club and you ain't in it. Okay, so I'm asking the question, how do you defeat this level of fucking stupidity? And you guys know what this show is dedicated to. You guys know what this show is dedicated to. When I asked the question, how do you defeat this level of stupidity? You guys know that the thing I've been doing since the very beginning of this channel is mocking it. And the guy that's doing it the best right now, guys, the guy that is doing it the best right now is Gavin Newsom. I did not have this on my bingo card. I did not foresee, with my slightly prophetic ginger abilities, I did not foresee that Gavin Newsom would be the guy that stepped into the spotlight. And to be honest, it's been fucking magnificent. Wow. So here we go. It's like arguing with flat earthers. Exactly. He's woke Jared. Ross. No. 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 So let's watch this. This is Donald is finished. Newsom goes on offense with Trump mockery campaign. Watching the Trump people get mad at this is it's both really funny, but it's also like fucking mind-bending. You're like, what do you mean you guys don't know that he's trolling Trump? What is going on?
California Governor Gavin Newsom and his team have figured out a very entertaining way to deal with Donald Trump at his own rhetorical
I'm with that, Jamie.
level.
I'm with
They've
that,
got a new
actually.
social media strategy that is both, I got to say, pretty damn funny and I think extremely effective, mocking the president with a spot-on impression of his very weird communication style.
The fact that, you guys know I've said this before, I always make fun of news media for, like, the way that they can report these crazy stories and they don't have any, like, funny shit to say. They don't have any, like, real reaction to it. They say it in, like, a deadpan manner. The fact that you're now seeing, like, news media people being like, this shit is actually pretty fucking funny to watch Donald Trump get fucking owned by Gavin Newsom is both, once again, kind of fucking sad. You know, the news media, in my opinion, should be reporting on shit in a manner that is very much like, hey, just so you guys know, this shit happened, and it's up to you to determine whether or not that's good or bad, but those are the facts. So it's sad in that manner, but it's also kind of feels good because you're like, hey, you guys have noticed that this shit is fucking insane. I'm glad you guys see that. I mean, look at what we're looking at right now. We are looking at a fucking news personality on MSNBC with the headline, Trump trolled, in the background with a picture of Angel Hulk Hogan, fucking Tucker Carlson, and Kid Rock fucking praying over Gavin Newsom. I think I need to move out of this country. I think we need to get the fuck out of here. That might be the only plan, guys. That might be the only plan, is to just go. We might have to just leave. Okay, Jeremy, I see that. Also with 6 inches or 12 inches. I don't know. What's up, Fixer?
Since Newsom jumped into the ongoing redistricting fight.
Dude, that fucking buff Gavin Newsom, too. Oh, Jesus.
His official Twitter account has been posting Trump style. Donald is finished. He is no longer hot. First the hand, so tiny. And now me, Gavin C. Newsom, have taken away his step. Many are saying we can't even do the big stairs on Air Force One anymore.
Oh, America is so cooked. We are so cooked. You can only just laugh at this absurdity. That just, like, I know that there's people outside our country that are like, you shouldn't be laughing, you should be doing something. What am I supposed to fucking do, dog? Like, do you think that, like, an armed revolution against this type of stupidity is actually going to do any good? That's a serious question, by the way. Somebody answer that shit for me. Would an armed revolution do any fucking good against stupidity this strong? I don't know that there's any hope. What the fuck are we like, my only option, in my opinion, is to mock these people into fucking oblivion. That is the only option I believe we have, is that we make fun of these fucking people so fucking much that we make it, like, sad for them to come outside, and they just, like, live a lonely life inside their house until they die of whatever cancer they get from fucking whatever that they enjoy the most. Like, that is, like, the best I think we can ask for. I don't think an armed revolution is going to do any good against this type of stupidity.
Uses the little baby stairs now. Sad.
Jeremy, my phone is repeating for some reason. Can't delete either. I can feel, like, the struggle. I can feel the struggle from those posts, Jeremy.
Has all the Trump trademarks, all capital letters, random quotation marks, little parentheticals, complete unhinged absurdity.
Did you just say parentheticals? Sorry, you just used that. Like, right now, there are at least, like, 3 MAGA people that just seizured. He said parentheticals, and they're like, so many syllables. Like, somebody hold that man's tongue, okay? He's going to swallow his tongue.
From just this morning, I thought this was a good one. I hate Kid Rock, GCN. Reference to Trump's infamous I hate
I hate Kid Rock.
Taylor Swift. Another drags the vice president into it. Not even JD Just Dance Vance can save Trump from the disastrous maps.
Just Dance Vance? Oh, no, dude. He's better at this than Trump is. Oh, fuck. I'm having issues. Could fucking Gavin Newsom, could he have saved us? Okay, guys, another serious question. You need to answer it for me. Fuck. God, I hate that I'm even saying this. I can't believe that I'm going back on this. If the Democrats would have had a primary, you guys are going to get really mad at me for this one. If the Democrats would have had a primary and Gavin Newsom would have won it, could Gavin Newsom have saved America from this 4 years of fucking domestic terrorism that we are about to be going through? Or do you think that this was necessary? Do you guys think... Do you think that, like, he would have lost... And this, like, is this what needed to happen for Gavin Newsom to achieve his final form? Because he is better at this than Trump is.
Or he has started. Not even his eyeliner lines look as pretty as California map lines. He will fail, as he always does. Sad, and I, the peacetime governor of our nation's favorite,
Team Box Caddis is not. All right.
Many are now calling me Gavin Christopher Columbus Newsom.
Thank you for the reinforcement.
Thank you for your attention to this.
Fuck, Ross says yes.
Beyond the mockery of Trump's text posts, Newsom has also been...
Bro, what the fuck is this timeline? Dude, you guys can't convince me that I'm not on crazy pills. I feel like something happened. Maybe there was something in the COVID vaccine. I can't believe that this is fucking reality, dude. Like, maybe the vaccine did something to my brain, and maybe this shit isn't happening. Maybe I am somewhere in a fucking padded room right now with a fucking straitjacket on, and people are giving me fucking medicine every 2 to 4 hours. If I wake up one day and that shit is happening, I'll be like, yep, checks out. Okay, that all didn't happen. Good. That's actually good.
Posting Trump-style AI-generated images of himself, including this, I think, absolute masterpiece.
Would have given him a better
Newsom
chance.
Deep in a moment of reflection or prayer, flanked by 3 MAGA icons and the
You're
laying
making
of
me feel
hands,
better.
Kid Rock, who he hates, Tucker Carlson, and the angelic spirit of the recently departed Hulk Hogan. Again, a spot-on
Fuck. What the fuck is
mockery of Trump, who isn't doing any of this satirically. What has been equally...
My buddy created one that says, "I'm Barron's daddy," and it's Gavin Newsom.
hilarious has been to watch the joke just go soaring over the heads of Trump's sycophants in the media.
For a reason,
For the last
motherfucker.
week, Gavin Newsom, and why am I giving him advice? You have to stop it with the Twitter thing. I don't know where...
There's no way she doesn't get it. Nah, they're playing dumb. There's no fucking way these people are that fucking stupid, right? She's playing dumb. She's playing dumb.
his wife is. If I were his wife, I would say, "What? You are making a fool
She wishes she was Gavin Newsom's wife, let's be honest.
of yourself. Stop it. Do not let your staff tweet. And if you're doing it yourself, put the phone away and start over. And if you really, he's got a big job as governor of California, but if he wants an even bigger job, he has to be a little bit more serious.
I want to believe that she's fucking playing a role. That there's no way she believes that. But also, I've watched Fox News enough to believe that she's just that dumb. She did not just say that. She didn't just say that. How ironic it would be to say not to tweet like that if you want to be the president of the United States. I think it was CoffeeZilla said it. Like, we used to teach our children, like, don't be a criminal, because if you want to do something like good in your life and be successful, like, you shouldn't be a corrupt criminal. And then the president of the United States was a 34-time convicted felon. That is the most corrupt individual that might have ever existed in this country. And it just sounds so weird now to say that, like, actually what America wants is people that are shitty people as the president of the United States. And the irony of that woman saying, don't tweet like that, when he's obviously mocking Donald Trump. I think most of my brain cells just left for Canada.
Yes, right. Be more serious. Stop posting exactly like the president of the United States does. Newsom's account responded to that advice, quote, "Dana Ding Dong Perino, never heard of her until today, is melting down because of me, Gavin C. Newsom. Fox hate that I am America's most favorite governor, ratings king, saving America. Trump has lost his step and Fox is losing it because when I type, America now wins." Thank you for your attention.
Bro, this is all our country has left. Like, this is how bad it's gotten in this country, is that we're like, yes! Somebody else is making funny, dumb tweets.
Does matter. Again,
oh, shit, we're so fucking cooked.
It is a stark reminder, with someone else doing it, of how truly, utterly deranged our current president sounds whenever he communicates.
Yeah.
And also...
And that's the hard part, right? Is that, like, you want to be able to say to people, you want to be like, yo, like, you guys do get the point, though, right? Like, that it's not just funny. Like, it's actually, like, meant to mock what Trump does. It's most importantly supposed to wake you up to the fact that you support this and you can't figure that out until you see it coming from the other side, right? Like, that's like the legitimate reason for doing this. But really, the sad thing about this country right now is that most likely people will vote for him because the shit he did was funny. We are in so much trouble.
How accustomed we've all become to this very, very weird
It's toast, not gonna lie. Yeah, this is essentially baby talk for politics. Exactly, Robert. Like, it's like, that's where we're at in this country. That's fucking crazy. It's crazy. It's a safe way for them to criticize Trump, though. That too. Like, right? It's another way to criticize him. And to be honest, Trump's probably like, this guy's doing pretty good. Wow. I looked at his tweets. I said, wow, that looks like I wrote it. Who's posting? Did I post under Gavin Newsom's account? Fuck, we're cooked. We're cooked. I keep saying, so it comes to this. And the comes to this moments keep getting worse and worse and worser. Cheyenne. I'm with you, Cheyenne. Thank God we have each other. All right, so there's one more video on this talking about the people and how they're reacting to Gavin Newsom's tweets, which is fucking, like, it's insane to see the people and the way they're reacting to this stuff. Like I said, I really don't believe that this is even real. Like, I'm like, there's no way these human beings exist. So, let's watch this video. It's called Talk About Snowflakes, the Right-Wing Meltdown over Newsom's new social media style. This is a little bit of a longer video.
Responds to and fights back against the as the state of California responds to and fights back against the blatant political power grab in Texas with its own redistricting effort. That state's governor, Gavin Newsom, is fighting for a different kind of power in today's political landscape.
He's fighting for the vote of the morons. Dude, we've gotten to a point in this society where he is literally trying to scrape up the bottom. This is exactly what Aristotle warned about when he said that pure democracy is bad. When he said you have to have some type of fucking intellectualism leading the fucking way. It was because when it comes to the point where you're pulling up the WWE Degeneration X kids, the fucking Jerry Springer, the 4chan, the Ancient Aliens. By the way, I watched all of these things, guys, and still somehow I made it this far. I wasn't a 4chan guy. I didn't do 4chan. But I made it this far. I survived Degeneration X WWE. I survived Jerry Springer. I survived Ancient Aliens. And I want to believe it's because I had a sense of humor and was capable of watching these things and being like, obviously, this isn't intellectual stimulation. I'm just watching this to laugh. But I also have to say, for about 35 years of my life, I was a complete and utter fucking moron that believed really dumb shit. So maybe I didn't survive it. Thank God my wife pulled me out of that dark hole. But that's literally where we're at now, is we're scraping up the bottom. We're like, what dumb shit can I get the stupidest people in America to fucking vote for me for? God damn it.
Newsom's press office for the past week and a half has been flooding the zone by flooding social media posts with posts that mimic Donald Trump's style and doing what no Democrat has tried for the last 9 years.
Bro, it's a fucking montage of stupidity.
In dealing with Donald Trump. Beating Donald Trump at his own game.
I'm hoping that mothership is coming. But like I said, what happens if they fucking just take Trump and leave us the rest of the morons? What if they come to catch Donald Trump like he's some kind of rare fucking Pokemon? And the aliens are like, sorry, we just came here to capture this one because we need to, complete the collection. And then we get left with the other fucking morons that are here. I mean, best case scenario, guys, is that they show up and they realize, they're like, hey, look, like there are people in your society that are actually pretty intelligent beings and we would like to leave you guys free of this dumbassery. So we're going to scoop up all the stupid ones. But the problem with that is a lot of us have been viewing this content. What if we get caught up? What if the aliens are like, bro, like I've looked at your internet history. You've been watching all these videos of MAGA people. There's absolutely no way that you aren't dumb now. Like, what if the aliens just are like, we got to be safe. We can't leave you here with the intelligent people. And you're like, bro, I swear to God, I was making fun of them. Like, what happens?
Donald Trump posted a fake Time magazine cover of himself as king. Gavin Newsom's team did the same thing. In one post, Gavin Newsom calls MAGA Republicans, quote, snowflakes in all caps.
Oh, dude, he stole my fucking
quote,
shtick.
Donald.
It's Trump flakes. Somebody needs to send him a memo. It isn't snowflakes, it's Trump flakes.
Is finished. He is no longer hot. First the hands, so tiny, and now me. Gavin C. Newsom has taken away his
I like that we have somebody different reading it this time. The different tone of voice, guys.
step. Many are saying he can't even do the big stairs on Air Force One anymore. Uses the little baby stairs now. Sad. Referring to a picture of Donald Trump alongside Vladimir Putin. He just wrote, Vax. Newsom has already captured the visual style of the quintessential Trump post. There's the retweet of buff Gavin Newsom holding an American flag, or maybe the real winner, a portrait
that is the best one,
surrounded by Kid Rock, Tucker Carlson, and Hulk Hogan. Newsom's social media campaign is clearly getting under the skin of many on the right.
I don't know what he's trying to do, but it comes across as childish. And you're the governor of the biggest state in the union.
It's got to be that they know what he's doing, but they know that their audience is not smart enough to know what he's doing. Therefore, they're kind of like Fox-splaining this to Fox viewers, right? Like they're convincing Fox viewers that Gavin Newsom is dumb. That's pretty much what they're doing, right? Like, that's got to be what it is, because there's no way they're fucking taking this seriously, like, in that manner. Like, they know he's mocking Trump. They know he's making jokes. It's got to be that they're Fox-splaining to their viewer.
What are you doing?
This is a sitting governor. You know, those are Congress people, and it feels like we're watching a summer camp skit. We're watching slam poetry. We're watching these attention seekers.
What the fuck did she say? Did she just say we're watching slam poetry? Does she know that she's on Fox News? How many people watching Fox News do you think know what slam poetry is? There are a bunch of old white people right now Googling the words slam. What the fuck am I saying? No, they're not. They don't know how to Google. Some old woman just wrote on her Facebook fucking slam poetry, and people are like, huh? Like grandma's trying to figure out what slam poetry is. She thought she was Googling it. Did she say slam poetry?
Sitting governor. You know, those are Congress people. And it feels like we're watching a summer camp skit.
A summer camp skit? What the fuck is this lady talking about?
We're watching slam poetry. We're watching these attention seekers that are just so wrapped up in clickbait, and they are supposed to be governing.
Does she know that Donald Trump exists? Are we watching Fox News from a different dimension? I think this might actually be one of those other worlds in string theory.
Hypocrisy is dying a sad and tragic death right now. Say the anchors.
Oh, fuck me. The way she just said that. Oh, shit.
The network that paid $800 million for their lies. Now, if the hypocrisy in all of this...
Oh, fuck. This just needs to all be burned to the ground, guys. I'm pretty sure. I think that's the only way to fix this. I'm pretty sure, actually, I just got done saying maybe armed revolution won't do anything against this fucking weaponized stupidity. But it might actually... We might need to just start over. Like, can we just hit the reset button? Can somebody hit the reset button soon? Please.
Isn't clear enough if it doesn't smack you on the side of the head. Here's what podcaster and radio host Charlemagne the God had to say.
What fucking dimension is this? Here's what Charlemagne the God had to say. Oh my God. Oh, the death of intellectualism. It's already happened.
About Fox News's reaction there.
Have you ever told the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America to stop? Have you ever told the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America that they need to be more serious, to act like it's cool when Trump do it, but it's a problem when Gavin does it? Knock it off.
Damn, Silent, you're actually right. Fuck, sorry for even mentioning that. That's what Musk, Dill, Vance, and Yarvin want. You're not wrong. They do. They want to reset the country. Fuck.
It's good for the goose. You know how that goes. Joining our coverage, Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California. Matt and Alex are still here as well.
Manny, help me out, brother.
Congressman, what do you think about this double standard from Fox? And what do you think about what Governor Newsom is doing?
I freaking love what Governor Newsom is doing, because that's what offense looks like, and we don't.
Yeah, he's not wrong there. Like I said, I bitched and complained about Democrats playing defense and playing the waited out game. You don't win this game by waiting it out. You have to play offense. He's right. He's right.
See enough Democrats, frankly, doing that. We have to be in more spaces, more places. And always on to voters means always honest. And Donald Trump, for all of his...
Damn, that's such a crazy thing to say. He's always on for voters, so that means he's always honest. Like, that's what Trump has done to people. That's like mass psychosis. It's literally mass psychosis. He's brainwashed these fucking people to believe, because he's constantly in their lives, that he's always correct about the things that he's doing. That's fucking crazy.
Courts and all of his corruption and incompetency, he's always on. And so when he makes a mistake, he is on an hour later, 2 hours later, 3 hours later, and it diminishes how the public views him. If we were always on with our ideas and our values, it will project authenticity and who we...
God, like, are we really going to turn this country into just like 24/7 shit posting? I think, who just said that? Yeah, Silent Siren, a whole army of shit posters. Is that what this country is going to become, dude? Like, that's not a win. Oh my God, what a fucked situation. It's not a win to just have both sides just constantly shit posting to see who can brainwash society the best. Good God.
We really are. And so you're seeing Governor Newsom, I think, most effectively do that.
Yeah, Roy
and I also like to hold that
you're right,
he's
Manny.
on offense. You have to either put Donald Trump on his heels, or he's going to put the most vulnerable in our community on theirs. And that's what this move is. And more Democrats, particularly governors, should model this and step up.
I agree with...
Imagine if all the governors started posting like fucking Trump. I don't know if that's a good thing. Like, I used to say, like, when you get around a person and they say a word, my buddy used to say bro all the time. And I would, when he first did it, I would mock him to try to make the point that he says bro all the time. And eventually I just ended up getting indoctrinated into the bro cult and just started saying bro all the time. I'm afraid of the outcome if everybody starts doing this.
I have to ask you this, though. Like, how did it take 9 years to decide to simply try, like, mocking him? I mean, South Park figured it out.
We let it go too far.
Gavin Newsom figured it out.
Oh, fuck, Ross. 24/7 YouTube debate streams. Oh, dude, I think I need to move to another country.
But it's still a trickle compared to the fire hose from the other side.
It's our strength and our weakness that we, stand on virtue and fight many of these fights with one hand tied behind our back, and often it's the upper hand. And I'm tired of being told, when they go low, we go high. I mean, the way I see it, when they go low, we should bury their ideas below the Capitol. That's the only way.
I prefer when they go low, we kick them in the head, but, hey, semantics.
Hey, we're going to protect the most vulnerable. Governor Newsom gets that, and yes, we can.
Yeah, I see what you guys are saying, Nana. Like, I mean, I'm being a little depressing right now. Yes, there are potentially positives that could come from this for sure. You guys are right. There is no choice. You gotta do what you gotta do, and you guys know I'm the one who fucking says this all the time. It's just, god damn, why is this where we're at, man?
Talk about, and there's great points to be made about how long it's taken us, but he's meeting the moment now, and it's just a matter of, do others join him as he does?
Dude, can we get an Idiocracy 2025? Because we need an updated version. Maybe Matt and Trey should make a Idiocracy 2025, because I'm sure they're friends with Mike Judge. They should all get together and make a Idiocracy 2025. We need an updated version.
Alex, the piece of this that is likely to trigger Trump the most is
Trump.
That it's funny.
Great job, Chaya. Damn! Holy shit! Dude, they are savages. Dude, if you asked me to be his fucking media guy, I couldn't do it. Like, whoever he has employed to do this shit are fucking savage. Look, here it is, guys. I'm going to throw this out there, and I want you guys to get in support of this. Maybe you guys get this rolling. If fucking these people end up defeating this dictatorship regime, they 100% deserve, what is it, the Medal of Freedom, right? That's the one that goes to citizens. Like, unless maybe they're military, and then we give them fucking Medal of Honor, because this shit is dangerous. Like, dude, they deserve fucking medals for this shit.
And that it's sticky, and that it'll get attention, and that even his favorite network anchors at his favorite network are talking about.
No, I haven't seen the fucking Newsom Melania memes. No, I have to see them.
About it over on Fox News. Your thoughts?
I mean, talk about snowflakes. Talk about owning the libs. I mean, like, it is amazing that a party founded largely like in service of melting the snowflakes is melting so quickly when
so
one
hard
person
right now
actually lays a like manages to land one on Trump, and that would be Gavin Newsom. I mean, I will just say for the record, I have never wanted a piece of campaign merch as badly as I want that laying of the hands on Newsom with.
Oh no. No! Are they gonna start selling merch? Oh Christ!
Hulk Hogan and Tucker Carlson and Kid Rock. I think he's having a great time doing this, Nicole.
Nice, Sarah.
And I think, not only is it time to sort of rethink the notion of self-serious liberalism, and I'm not going to malign Democrats for being serious about it, because we're talking about very, very grave issues and very, very real consequences for a number of people, right? That's serious stuff. But the message is delivered through a joyful warrior. And I think that's really important. Humor, as you point out, is Trump's kryptonite. Cultural currency is what I think has made the manosphere so popular, so prevalent, so much of.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Powerful.
These are all the same things I bitch about. These are all. She's not wrong.
Whole sort of voting block, if you will, because it was rooted in culture, and this is going viral and being memeable is part of a necessary strategy to succeed in being rooted in culture. So I think what Newsom is doing is broadly in service of Democratic goals. The other thing I'll say is Trump has rendered so many important concepts meaningless by taking what is really legitimate criticism about his corruption and his authoritarian tendencies and throwing it back at his critics, right? And that's changed the way Democrats can even describe what's happening to us as a country. This is an opportunity for Democrats to take back one of Trump's biggest and maybe only selling points, which is his unvarnished real talk. The fact that a Democrat can successfully mimic that
this country's so
really
dumb.
takes that arrow out of Trump's quiver. I think in the last couple of days, Trump has ceased.
Dude, she has spoken super well to this. This is like, she's doing a great job of calling this out for exactly what it is. And like, that's the kind of stuff that gives me hope, is hearing a person that's intelligent speak to this in a way that doesn't make me feel fucking crazy about like the death of intellectualism through this type of shit happening. So I actually really appreciate the way that she's giving her 2 cents on this.
Tweeting in all caps. That is indicative of a man who, upon self-reflection, is like, oh, maybe this doesn't have the same resonance as it used to. And that, to me, is really telling about what a winning strategy this is on the part of the California governor.
Wow. Okay. Well, I have to say, like, she's not wrong. She's pretty spot on with the way that she analyzed that. And, like I said, I didn't have this on my bingo card. I would think that Gavin Newsom, being pretty establishment, I mean, he's the head of the most progressive state in the union. A lot of people give Gavin Newsom a really hard time, myself included, for not being progressive enough, for doing the stupid shit like he did the homeless camp thing where he's tearing apart homeless camps himself, shit like that. I didn't see this coming. I don't know. At this point, like I said, you just gotta you can take what you can get in this society, because obviously what is going on right now is quite possibly the worst possible scenario. Not the worst possible scenario. Obviously, there are worst possible scenarios. Attention shit can always get worse. But we can't continue this for 4 years, 8 years, 12 years. There has to be a stopgap to this type of insanity, especially with things like climate change, AI, the potential automation of people's jobs. We can't. This country is not going to survive a decade of AI, issues with climate change, issues with the failing of the middle class as far as its structure goes, with a person like Donald Trump or his cronies in office. They will burn this country to the ground. They will milk it for every dollar that it's worth. And there is just no silver lining to what they're doing right now, unfortunately. Like I said before, I give people W's where they're relevant. I've told you guys before. You guys have seen me play the game before on stream, where I can name more from Trump's first term presidency that Donald Trump did that I thought was positive than even Trump supporters can, because they can't even name one thing because they don't even fucking know what happened in his first term. I'm happy to say, I don't want to wake up tomorrow and the country be in a bad place. I want the country to be in a good place. So even when it's fucking Donald Trump running the country, obviously I want the country to succeed. It doesn't make any fucking sense not to. And what we're seeing right now is this is not winning. This isn't good for the middle class. It's winning for rich people. It is winning for rich people. That's why athletes don't care. That's why a lot of celebrities don't care. That's why, Chris Pratt's out there going, what are you crying about? At least we got red dye 40 out of our food. Yeah, we're happy about that. We're just not happy with the rest of the shit that's going on. It's fucking insane. Anyways. All right, guys. Oh. Tucker he's grifting. Dude, he's the king of the grift. There's going to be a fight for who gets to be the king of the grift, though. It's Jover. It's Jover. Yeah, it's the worst from a civil standpoint. Exactly, Robert. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. I want you guys to always remember these immortal words of Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, you effin' with some wet-ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word. P-word. P-word is female genitalia.
Who explains sexual harassment to you and me? Sexual harassment, panda.
All right, guys. Have a good rest of your week. I'm going to be here tomorrow for the Thursday This Space show. It'll both be on this channel and over at This Space as well at 5 o'clock. So if you guys want to catch more of the show, it's a 2-hour show from 5 o'clock Pacific to 7 o'clock Pacific. And then Visora, who's a dope-ass content creator, comes on after me. She's down under in Australia and gives us a little bit of a look from outside the country. So if you guys want to check that out, tomorrow, 5 o'clock. All right, guys.